Thank you for your pledge on Patreon. Bang Bang BX.
Hey, yo, Flip.
Yo.
I'm going to put you on to some fire, man. They got this new beard wash company. They got the lotion and the everything.
What's their name?
They got a recovery room.
What's the name?
Maestro's Classic.
G-Money's up front.
I'll put you on.
I've been with you on the Maestro's, man. You forgot the way I brought you? You forgot where I brought you up there?
Oh, man.
You forgot about Ghost?
All right. What's his name?
Ghost, you know again?
He cool, man. Yeah. Ghost is cool, man.
Yo, make sure you get your Maestro's Classic beard care products today at Target, CVS, or go on maestrosclassic.com and use the promo code Queenzflip to get 10% off.
10%, that's it? I thought it was free if you put your...
Are you crazy?
All right, okay.
Make sure you go there today. Log on maestroswithas.com. I'm from Queens. G-Money!
Yo,
listen.
What up?
Obviously, we got some people in the building that
Yes.
feel like they could come here and run things the way they want to run things.
Oh, yeah?
Say things how they say it. So before we get into that, how are you?
I'm good. How you feeling? You all right?
I like when people come in here and challenge like their energies like mine. You like that. You tend to laugh. I see it in your face.
I just,
You want to give somebody that a cool before the show start.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserved it, but I'm going to try to hold back a little bit. And if you're going to wait, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
Yo, we introduced you yet, bro. We introduced you yet, man. You know how the show go. We introduced you yet, smooth man.
But there's definitely something in the air in Philly and Harlem. It's something that's you know, the lingo, the talking, the confidence. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It's a little different than other areas. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, let's shout out the team. Shout out to Amina.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mighty Two Times. Shout out to Basco in the building. Shout out to Ebach. You know what I mean? Today's going to be a special one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, Basco, come in here real quick and do me a favor. I want you to just pause the mic this way because I don't want the line to block his face. I need to see his face on camera. So you see how, you see how you sit and just slide it out, to the left a little bit. Yeah.
Don't block my feet.
Yeah, I don't want to, yeah, just like that. Yeah, he can talk. Yeah, he's talking to the mic. Move it over a little to the right. Yeah. To the right a little. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Yeah. So, I feel good. We had to do
Feeling
that.
good. Yeah, man.
But I want to get straight into it.
Why not?
I want to get straight into it.
Why not? Let's get
this
to it.
guy stated, matter of fact, before G-Money
Yo.
episode, what? He got to wait.
Why you always do this to the...
He got to wait. He let his nuts hang. He walked to the building with 7 people.
Why you always do that to people like this, man?
My man on the couch came with a Louis Vuitton trench coat. I don't know what type of coat it is. Fire. I didn't talk to you yet, bro. I ain't introduced you yet, bro. I bet you. Yeah.
MDF in the
I
building.
mentioned you too. Huh?
Big winners.
Oh.
They ready.
Yeah. G-Money.
Yo.
Episode 149.
Nigga, we made it.
We got a special guest.
Yes.
Philly in the building.
The greatest hustler alive.
Oh, Lord.
The Muslim Don. Young, pretty, best shape of my life. I'm here.
Round of applause for Tone Trump, man. Round of applause, please.
I'm in the building.
Welcome. Flip the script, man. How you doing?
Let's swing. Mashallah. I'm in a great space. I'm happy to be here. This is one of the ones I was waiting to do, so I'm glad to be here.
Thank you.
Why did you come up here with so much people and said to me just now that last time Philly was up here, they were funny business? You came up here with a lot of people, so obviously we feel the tension. All right, that's nice. And they're standing on their square. They're serious guys, no smiles. Cool. Right. What are you trying to portray to me?
It's a way of life for me. I'm Muslim, as you know, as everybody know. F.D.S is my company, Muslim Don family. And the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, teaches us to trust the law but tie your camel. So me coming here, I trust God that I'm going to be okay. I trust y'all. I trust your system. But the last time I seen some brothers from Philly here, it was a little funny business going on. So I owe it to my children to move very, very smart, very calculated. I've been in this industry a long time, so sometimes you can't control things. And you seem like a good guy. You made a kind of like a big mistake last time with the other Philly brothers. So, you might have made the same mistake with me. I know for a fact, some people I may not be too friendly with. So I just got to make sure that everybody's okay, including y'all too, because my people going to make sure y'all okay too, inshallah.
Hold on.
I'm in the building, man. I'm in the building, man.
First, I'm going to keep it
real quick. Can I do this real quick too? Because today is the anniversary, to me, the greatest American Muslim ever, Malcolm X. Today is the anniversary of his passing. So I just want to say may Allah be pleased with him. And today was also the janazah for a young brother, Pop Smoke from New York. And I ask Allah to forgive him for his sins. And so this is like a very like somber day in certain ways, but we gonna celebrate them, and we not gonna make it a sad thing. So love to both of them brothers and their families. Let's get it.
Basket, what you said, Bass? Who, me? So, okay. Is it? How was it now? Hold on. Give me a second, Tom. Let me see. Hey, yo, no recording, y'all, for me, please. Let me get past y'all. Hold on.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. How we sounding? Come on, get my shit right. I don't want no note in the comments. Oh, the audio messed up because it is. Get my shit right. I came from a long way to do this. Mic check. Mic check.
1, 2. Check.
I don't want no. Hey, Queen. I don't want no notes in the comments.
Bro,
the
Queens,
the audio messed up. You know what I mean?
Oh, Queen.
I'm speaking to the Queen. I know where you from. You know where you from.
You said that I made a mistake last time with the Philly brothers that were up here. Please elaborate off the knowledge that you might have saw the mistake that I've made. Sorry.
I mean, I think. For one thing, everything ain't for the camera. I think their situation, the potential for their situation going left is very, very high. So I think when you not knowing that the one brother had the address to the studio and stuff like that, that little mistake right there could have caused a lot. And I think I don't feel like nobody, because I could tell the brothers from Philly got a lot of love for you, so I don't think they felt like it was nothing grimy going on, but they know you way better than I know you, so I don't know. So when I saw it's a road game for me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I called some of the New York ox up, all Muslims with me, everybody with good intentions. So we come with love and peace.
Positive brothers, but
But at the same time, we got to make sure everything and everybody is well. I gotta get home. I got a flight to Africa on Sunday. Did I mention that earlier?
Of course.
Inshallah.
How would you? So let me ask you a question.
Right.
Because you use keywords, and I appreciate your honesty. How would you have handled the situation? Because I came in, I told the brothers that I got a call from Alpo and his son saying that they know that y'all gonna be up here. So, and then shout out to my son Queenzflip Jr. He told me like, "Yo, pops, I saw a car outside," but I didn't think nothing of it because I wouldn't think that the person Poe would actually come up here when he gave me his word. He wouldn't. You understand?
Well, you make right there. You trusting rappers and street guys and people you obviously don't know that well. You just said your own mistake. Your own son said, "I seen the car, boom," and you said, "I didn't even think of it." In this business, we got to think of it. That's the difference between life and death.
That's a fact.
Whether it's streets or music or culture, period. So, like a mistake, most of the time, tragedies are from what? Mistakes. So I don't think nobody that saw that, because I seen some of the negativity around it. People thought maybe somebody was trying to line somebody up. Yeah. From what I know of them brothers from Philly, if they thought you was lining them up, they wouldn't have spent all them hours with y'all. Y'all look like y'all had a ball and so forth. I don't know if I would have felt that comfortable like they felt. I don't know if I would have felt that trusting like they felt. Like if you popped a move on me and then you like, "Oh, I just want to let you know so-and-so is outside." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm bringing your whole team. We're going to have everybody. It's not going to be nobody off camera. I want all y'all at this table right now. We're going to do this right. We're going to do it militant. We're going to do it respectful. But I'm not going to be like, "Oh, it was just a coincidence that he just happened to have the address, one of my ops." That's how I would have looked at it. But
respect.
Mashallah, I'm glad everything worked out good. Nobody got hurt. Nobody went to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody ain't, funny style. Meaning that, I come from a genuine place. So in my mind, the respect that I give is the respect that I expect to receive from certain individuals. Right. So if I call somebody on the phone, they're like, I'm like, "Yo, man, I can't mess up my business." I'm not thinking that. My son did tell me. He told me in the elevator, "Yo, pops, I saw a car." What you talking about? So I came up here and I told the brothers, like, "Yo, but off before camera, yo, got a call, you know what I mean? If y'all want to leave, y'all could, I ensured them the safety on my part, privately, and they ensured me that they felt safe on their part. And I said, okay, cool. And I said, but he gave me his word he wasn't gonna come up here. And it was until after the next day that, or the day after, he sent me a picture that he was outside.
Right.
So that's why I was upset. But I respect that. I appreciate your honesty.
Right. I gotta be.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You caused a lot of trouble. Pardon me, G. I'm gonna let you get at him. You caused a lot of trouble, and now you want to come like peaceful. You caused a lot of trouble out here in these streets, but now you changed. You grew. Yes.
Pause. I definitely grew a lot. You know what I mean? I definitely grew a lot as a man, as a Muslim, as a human. I think we all, you know what I mean? I think one thing about me, like when you say I caused a lot of trouble, I've been in this game, you know, I've been doing my thing for a long time, and I came into this game at a very young age. I came into this game with no guidance, and I was learning on the job. So certain things that I thought, like, you know what I mean, if I looked up to somebody like a 50 or something like that, I might say, well, 50 did this to get hot, so I got to do this. Certain things that I thought you had to do. You know, when I look back now, as I mentor people now, maybe I could tell them something different. But coming up, the things that you thought were causing trouble and stuff like that were things that helped change my life. It helped me see the world. It helped me tour. It helped me make money. It helped me feed my family. It helped me do things that I could never even dream of doing. You know what I'm saying? It all led me to be here. It led me to flying to Africa Sunday. It led me to being in Saudi Arabia a couple weeks ago. It led me to working with some of the biggest artists in the game. It led me to being in one of the biggest movies ever. Like, all of these things, from the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all the cut of a law. So I couldn't have got to point G without point B and C. So even things that may have looked bad or crazy to some people, those lessons, and I never lost. I either won or I learned. So it was all a blessing for me. Even the things that, let the record show too, I never go to an interview and say, you can't ask me this, you can't ask me that. You can ask me anything. And I don't hide from nothing. There's been times where I wouldn't answer certain questions because I tried to always carry myself a certain way. But I'm undefeated. You know what I'm saying? I'm undefeated. I'm undisputed. I'm the greatest hustler alive. I know you do your Googles. Check it out. This is all reality right here. So everything I went through, when you say you was out here starting trouble, I was out here learning. I was learning. And now I'm utilizing those tools to get to a level that most people never even could dream of.
Before I get to my man G, can you introduce, you know, because we didn't give my man a proper introduction.
Oh, Skibo Debo,
man.
Skibo
Mr.
Debo in the
already,
building.
man.
Skibo Debo
Winner.
in the building.
The
One
winner.
and only. Holy shit.
How you doing? You all right?
Doing great, man. Feel blessed. Blessed to be here.
And you said Uncasa mentioned you in the
Yeah,
interview.
my brother, shout out to Art Casa. You know what I mean? He said on his interview, he was with me OT doing something that you was questioning about by one of them homegirls. And I verified he was with me. You know nothing about that. He was with me, doing what we do.
All right, so for those who don't know, tell the people who was Tone Trump.
They all know already.
I mean, you know.
I just wanted to make him mad. That wasn't my real answer. I just wanted to make him mad. Tone Trump first is a Muslim. I'm a black man. I'm a father. I'm a hustler. I'm extremely handsome. I'm extremely confident. I'm hardworking. I'm humble. I'm cocky sometimes. I'm God-fearing. I'm God-loving. I'm the greatest hustler alive. And when I say the word hustle, I mean, hard work ethic. Getting up every day, 4 a.m, making fudge, praying, getting my 5-year-old, my 3-year-old ready for school every single day. Coming to New York sometimes on a mega bus just to come out here and grind. I've been doing this since before World Star, doing World Star. I've had moments all throughout of it. You know what I mean? Self-made, self-paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Highly respected throughout the industry. Always did it from the muscle. Always did it with prayer and hard work. No sucker stuff. Hating. So, I just think when people look at me, I think people see themselves. I think that's why my movement, I tell people all the time, I don't have the most fans, I don't have the most supporters, but I got the best fans and the best supporters. So I could have, somebody like me, I could have 90,000 followers and I sell more merch than somebody with 1 million followers because my fans and my supporters resonate with me. I built them. I've conditioned them to buy. I've conditioned them to support me monetarily. I've never been one to brag about views. I've never been to brag about likes and hits. I brag about, business and deals and making money and building and touring and merch. And, I think when people think of me, they think first thing they think of is he a hustler, and not just me, but like I said, people believe everything Google say. When you Google greatest hustler alive, look that up real quick, Flip. You Google greatest hustler alive, you see the Don. You see the Muslim Don Tone Trump. Like, you can't nobody else can sit on the couch and say that. Everybody that sat on this couch has somehow mentioned hustling, but only one can say they are the greatest hustler alive.
I see it.
Did he look it up?
Wow.
Can you don't shake? They can't hear you.
They can't hear your head now. You know what I mean?
I said, wow,
Flip,
yeah,
Flip.
I'm looking at it.
I want to hear Flip say it though. Queens, what up, Queens? Queens, what up? I love
Greatest
Queens.
hustler alive is Tone Trump.
Believe that.
Wow.
How do you say you're Muslim? Abdul
Jalil Salam is my
Jalil
Muslim
Salam.
attribute.
Salute.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I could definitely attest to the grind and the hustle. I met you years ago. I can't remember what party it was, but I definitely met you at a few industry parties years ago. So you've been in New York, you know what I'm saying, for years now, back and forth. I've seen you around
Years and years.
labels and meet and greets and all that. You know what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
putting in work.
Absolutely.
Where the name Tone Trump come from?
The name Tone Trump come from, everybody know I'm from Philly. Philly is close to Atlantic City. When I was a young boy, one of my old heads, Billy Brown, I used to drive him to AC. He would hit big. I would drive his money back, drive back. I was like his driver at like 14 years old. And when I first tried to want to be a rapper, everybody tried to come up with names. I wanted to be Tone Capone. But obviously Capone from CNN, I couldn't do that because, I was learning about trademarking and stuff. And he used to call me Little Trump. Because when you first go to AC, the Trump Plaza and all of that stuff was real big in lights. And he used to call me Little Trump, connected to AC and being so young driving for him. So it just had a niche to it. So that's where I got Tone Trump from.
How you feel
it just fit me, you know what I mean? It's fly, it's money, it's attractive, it's everything I stand for.
That name still feels comfortable with you now with our president and what he's doing and everything like that? Or?
Absolutely, because I control the narrative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
real.
when my fans look at me, they don't see the president. They see the person that went on TMZ and dissed the president. They see the person that's young, black, and unapologetically Muslim. They see the first person to ever go on TMZ and say, Mashallah. I got on TMZ because they wanted to ask me about my name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that. I try to turn a negative to a positive. That's just black people, period. That's what we do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We turn negatives into positives. So I've never wavered on my name. My name is my name. I got the AK. You don't like to call me Trump, call me Pretty Tony. Call me Young Mansa Musa. You know what I'm saying? You know who Mansa Musa is, Flip? The richest black man ever to live who was also Muslim. Call me Young Mansa Musa. Put that in the title too, man. Young Mansa Musa.
Yo, so real quick, talk about Philly real quick. I've seen some interviews and some videos, and you being from Philly, like most people who from the area, from your area, wherever you're from, you rep, your city or your town, like, but you seem to really, really like love Philly. Like, what is it about Philly that makes you so dear to your heart?
I mean, it's the greatest city in the world. What the best comedian in the world is from where? Kevin Hart, Philadelphia. I mean, you think about music, you think from the Roots, the Meek Mills, the Beanie Siegel, State Property, Major Figures. I mean, the list goes on and on.
But what's your personal connection with Philly? Like growing up, like talk about some experience you had growing up that made you really,
love my city.
Philly. Yeah.
That's a good question. I would probably say, just the love of Islam in Philly. I mean, being Muslim saved my life, so that's the most dearest thing to me. Like being in Philly, Allah blesses us to make things easy for us in Philly. Like it's just something like halal food. I travel a lot, so I can go to certain places where there's no halal food. That's things you take for granted. Right. I travel a lot, so I can go to I could be in Alabama at a tourist stop, and I don't see no other Muslims. But when I'm in Philly, I walk out my door, everybody Muslim. And I think about just coming up and just learning about the deen and learning about the religion and the beauty of the religion and the brotherhood. Like everybody you see me with here now, that's the one thing that connects us all. I got people with me from different cities, different neighborhoods, but that love of Allah and the fear of Allah and that deen, it brings us together. And that's the most beautiful thing about my city to me. Like when people think about Philly, they think about the black Muslims. You think about the beards. Like the beards has become like a fad, but to us, that's part of the sunnah. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, tells us to keep the beard and trim the mustache. So that's part of a way of life. It's spiritual for us. So I think about the religion. I think about the grit and the grind. Being the greatest hustler alive, I learned that from my mother. My mother getting up every day, working hard, telling me at 9 years old I was the man of the house. Me going out at 9, hunting. I call it hunting. Hustling, hunting, going out knowing like if I don't hunt, I don't eat. And, Philadelphia teach you that at a young age. Philadelphia is a tough town. You know what I'm saying? So me getting beaten, bruised, paused, for lack of a better term, in the streets of Philly, it prepared me for anything in this world. It prepared me for everything this world got to give me. Whether it's something in the streets, whether it's something in the boardroom, knowing how to be, I can move in a room full of vultures. I can sit down with an executive. 1 minute I could be on the phone with an executive. The next minute I could be on the phone with royalty from Saudi Arabia. The next minute I could be on a prison call. Next minute I could be talking to a Grammy winner. And Philadelphia prepared me for all of those conversations. That city, that heart, that grit. I mean, it's just hard to explain, these small little homes, these row homes, knowing how to navigate through this. If you can survive that, you can survive anywhere. When you think of New York City and all of these big buildings and it's, it's so big out here, no homo, but Philly is very, very small on top. So it's like to break out, to survive, the accomplishments, the things that may be small to some, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it's like to go into a movie theater and sit there with your mom on one side of you and your lady on the other side of you and you in the biggest movie of the year playing yourself, a movie based in your city. You know what I'm saying? Knowing where you came from, knowing I was the guy that nobody liked, that everybody said was whack, that I started trouble, all of this. I did it the hard way, and my city prepared me for that. And I love my city for that. You know what I'm saying? Even when my city don't love me back, I love my city for that because it made me be able to navigate. You know what I mean? I just left Mecca. I'm going to Kenya on Sunday. The way I'm going to navigate in Kenya, in that jungle, in Nairobi, I learned how to do that in West Philly on 52nd Street, being around the hustlers, being around the older Muslim brothers, seeing Brother Bilal, seeing brothers go out there in the beginning of the day selling oils, knowing if they don't sell no oils, they can't feed their family. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, seeing them brothers hustle, learning that grit, learning that grind, knowing if I like it and I want it, I got to work for it. I learned that from that city. So I love that city. I love that place. I love everything about the good, the bad, and the ugly because it's a rough town, but I love everything about it.
So now let's go back now and talk about, you said your upbringing when you were younger. You said you're 9 years old, man of the house. So in the household, was yourself, you got any brothers or sisters? You got any siblings?
Yeah, I got a little sister.
Okay.
My little sister. I got a couple little sisters, but through my mom, I just got one little sister. So growing up, it usually was me, my mom, and my little sister.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up in West Philly, when I first came home, I went to 49th and Hoops. It was very, very heavy violence and drugs in the area, and my mother didn't play none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother did such a great job growing up that I didn't know we struggled until I got grown and I look back at certain things. But when I was growing up, I can't front like some people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been cool the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been fly the whole movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't, you know, I don't have that, you know, I ain't Mike Jones. It was like, they wanted me back then. They wanted me now. My mom sacrificed. When the sneaks was in, I had them. Whatever haircut you were supposed to have, I had it. But my mom sacrificed for it. She worked for it. And she did her best to keep me off them corners. And she realized that if I do this, if I give him this, he won't have no excuse. Right. So when I did make mistakes and I did venture out my house to make mistakes, it wasn't so much for me as a need. It was more so for me just trying to be grown or being a follower at a young age, because my mother did an outstanding job. I'm not even going to get on here and pretend like she did. My mother is amazing. Right. She's still lit. She's still beautiful, still, you know, part of my movements, part of everything I'm doing and holding me down. You know, she makes appointments for me. She makes sure I'm good. You know what I mean? So
that's dope.
I love my Umi, and you know, that's another thing, you know, when I think about my city, because that same city taught her how to handle her business. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I came up.
Where was your dad at the time?
You know, same old story, you know, dealing with the streets, you know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
He was out there in the streets getting caught up. My dad actually was a great musician, but he you know, he had some vices and some habits that took him away from his family and took him away from us. But you know, may Allah guide him. I actually invited him to my iftar last year. I went like 15 years without ever talking to him, and last year, just me growing spiritually, something in me was like, yo, let me at least holler at him, so, you know, if he die or if God forbid I die, right, you know, I could at least, you know, holler at him, because, you know, if you want Allah to forgive you, you have to forgive. So I'm not going to sit around being no big baby like, oh, you wasn't there to play catch with me. You know, I forgive you, man. Maybe you could have a relationship with my kids, even though you couldn't have one with me. You know what I'm saying?
And did you speak to him? Did he come? Did he check you?
Yep, he actually came to my iftar. Iftar is during Ramadan when we break fast, and we did the first annual Muslim Dawn iftar. I had about 50 Muslim brothers come out, and I invited my pop, and that literally was the first time I seen him in like 15 years, and he came out. Everybody loved him. You know what I mean? He like me. He like, you know, he very personable, very wavy. So, you know, it was like he never missed a beat. People seeing us there would have thought me and my dad talk every day. Wow. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's still dealing with some things, but, you know, I'm in a position now where I want to, you know, I feel like one of my callings is to help him get right. And, you know, he has a daughter who I grew up not really acknowledging, because I had like a jealousy towards her, which I said she gonna probably watch this too. My little sister Destiny, who I love to death and I always loved, but I just had misguided anger because I didn't like my dad, so I equated her with him. But you know what I mean, I wanna have her in my life now, my niece, and even my pop. We probably have a room for him in the mansion too. You know what I mean? Inshallah. So, you know, in order to be, you have to forgive to be forgiven, and I got a lot I need to be forgiven for. So I definitely wanna, you know, forgive my pop.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you finish what you're doing. I need full attention, so when you're done.
He's trying to cook it up. You know what he's trying to do.
Talk to me.
Not really trying to cook it up. I'm gonna. Do you think that by your father not being there, that sort of molded your life into a different way? Do you think that your life may have, or your childhood may have going a different way if he was present, if he was in the home?
You know what? Like I said about turning a negative to a positive. What I think is some of the things that I thought was a punishment growing up. Like I used to feel like I was punished that I didn't have a big brother or a dad. But then when I look back, I feel like Allah blessed me because I'm a leader of men now. You know what I mean? Like I'm a leader. Like the brothers I have with me, when you see the brothers with me, these are all other leaders. So for them to trust me to be the leader of the leaders says a lot about my leadership. Like I don't have no flunkies with me. I don't send nobody to the store. When you see me as a boss next to a boss, is a winner next to a winner, is a car next to a car, is a star next to a star. A lot of these people y'all interview, one guy comes in looking nice, and then there's 5 dudes that don't look as nice. You see all these coats these brothers got on. You see security got Giuseppe's on. Like look over there. Look, you see that? What's those you got on right there? That's the Zeppies, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like you see success. You see Noor. In Islam, in Arabic, it's called Noor. It's a light you see. So I feel like not having my dad prepared me for that. The Queen feel me. You know what I'm saying? And Queens definitely feel me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Queenzflip. Shout out to G Money.
So, like, walk us through, growing up, so you have a little sister.
Yeah.
And, like, Mom, she worked hard, but you also gave Mom a lot of credit. You said that she tried her best to make sure you had and stuff like that.
She ain't just tried her best. She did it.
She did it. Shout out to Mom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom a lot.
You hear how good I speak? That's because she sacrificed for my education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She
Respect.
made sure, like, with little to nothing, the little bit she had, I'm going to put this boy into a good school so he can out-talk the rest of these jokers, outthink the rest of these jokers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, did that. So, yeah, let's
out
give the proper.
Salute.
As you would say, Mama Love. I say
Yeah, shout out to Mama Love, yeah. You, what age you started going outside?
Young. She told me I was the man of the house at 9. I lived in an area that was very, very popping, very, very, very active. I was on 49th and Hoop Street. I went to James Rose Elementary School. So where I was at, it was just many ways to navigate your hustle. You could go to store back then. Back then it was a different time in the streets because when you look at the streets now, like, you can't really tell who's in the streets. This was back at a time where, like, you could tell who was getting money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the people, the hustlers that I saw coming up when I was young were very successful in my eyes, at least at that time. Now, looking back, I don't know their business or their bank accounts, but, these dudes, now you got dudes who call themselves street dudes and trapping. They don't even own a car. They don't even own a prop, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Back then, dudes was, moving out the hood and having the nicest cars and the nicest clothes and the nicest jewelry and stuff like that. So you aspired to get those things. And where I grew up at, we didn't see anybody make it to the NBA, or we didn't see any doctors or lawyers. We seen dudes from the streets elevate. So you thought that was the way to acquire those things. You know what I'm saying? It's not like back then. It wasn't like a bunch of rappers that made it. You know what I'm saying? Now kids got a lot of different things they could look at via social media. Kids know they could pick up their phone now and pretty much be anything they want to be. We didn't have those aspirations. It was like a few things, like, like when people thought about sports, that was like to go to school for free. If you wanted to get some money, you probably had to go to the corner. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to get some slow money, you go get a job. But that wasn't nothing nobody really looked up to.
You was trying to play ball, though, when you was younger.
I wasn't trying. I was a baller. I'm still a baller. I was balling.
Still got it?
A little bit. You know what I mean? I got to get the sons right and the kids in the neighborhood right. We do a lot of, giving back and a lot of stuff. And, just to stay in shape. But
right.
I definitely had hoop dreams growing up.
Were you nice?
I was amazing. I was great. I was
so
great.
You was on the team in high school and everything.
I was great. And that, invited, special invitations to camps and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of them guys. I was great.
I mean, yeah, I guess self-flattery. Yeah,
I was great.
Well, let you tell it. I didn't see it.
We gotta do a flip the script like basketball game this summer. So we got a lot of people up here that they should play ball.
Don't give them that credit. I didn't see it.
No, that's what we gotta put
Where
together.
your highlights at?
And then we gonna see.
Listen. Let me tell you something, man. you a fan of battle rap, which I know, and a lot of times, a lot of those dudes, when they say about their best battles, what they used to tell you, this was before they was on camera. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the streets playing a lot of ball. I was all over playing ball.
I see it.
You know what I'm saying? I was one of them guys.
What changed? You got in trouble in school? You got expelled from school?
I got kicked out of school.
What happened?
Why I got kicked out of school?
Yes.
I got kicked out of 2 schools. I got kicked out of a couple schools, but basically it just became, I was smarter than the teachers. I was smarter than the teachers. At least I thought I was smarter than the teachers. The school pace was slowing up. I was attracted to things that I didn't feel like I needed school to do. And the desires of the streets, the desires of women. It just, for me, it was just like school was just like a waste of time. So it was almost like I was trying to get kicked out of school. I was never stupid. I was never dumb. I wasn't doing a whole bunch of fighting. But my last year, my mom moved to like a little nicer neighborhood to try to give me a better chance. I was going to a little nicer school. Got in trouble in school. Had some stuff in school I wasn't supposed to have in school. You know how that is. I come back from the Votech. They got everything from my locker on the table, and they was trying to allege that some stuff was mine, and they expelled me from the school. So
so were you hustling in school?
Yeah, I was hustling outside of school, in school.
Somebody told on you, you think? Do you think
somebody definitely told on me? Yeah, somebody definitely told on me.
And when you got expelled, that sort of messed up your basketball journey that you were on, because obviously the school was backing you.
It was a big black eye, because you know what I mean, like when you getting recruited and stuff like that, I was getting college letters and everything like that, and you know everything goes on your record. It's like a job interview. It's like they say what happened to so and so. If you get expelled, coaches gonna know you got expelled. It's just like if you got a certain grade point average, you know what I mean, or your SAT score. So it just didn't equate. It started to look unrealistic to me, and I wasn't gonna chase something that wasn't attainable. Like I knew what was up. Like, you sit down with the counselor. I remember they set me down one year, and it was like my credits didn't even add up. It was like, yo, I could get all A's and I still wasn't gonna be on pace to graduate. So it was like, you know what? This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to take the SAT preps, and they was talking about junior college and all this different stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna go get me some money. And that's what happened. It was just like, I ain't doing this no more. I'm gonna go get me some money. I'm gonna figure something else out. And you bump your head doing that, and you live. Like I said, I never lost. I either won or I learned. I just was learning.
So you get kicked out of school. You didn't finish school.
No, I ain't finished school.
You're very intelligent. I guess you're reading dictionaries.
Absolutely. Yes? Well, I do that too sometimes.
Yeah, of course you'll say that. Of course you'll make yourself do something that you wasn't.
I mean,
doing.
I told
like you wasn't reading the dictionary. Bro.
Malcolm X is one of my heroes. Yes, Malcolm X did what? Malcolm X. If you know the story of Malcolm X, which I will hope you do, because you talk about him a lot on this platform, with a lot of people who act like they know a lot about him. And one of the things they know is the first book that he embraced was the dictionary, because he wanted to learn how to make sure he knew how to talk and be able to hang with the big dogs.
That's a fact.
One thing I always did, like most of the smartest people in the world aren't fundamentally educated. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm in school every day. I got online professors. Like I look at people like David Banner and Derek Grace and the late Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? Those are my professors. You know what I'm saying? I learned from people like that. You know what I mean? Like even when I came here today, G Money said, "Have you ever watched the show?" Like, you know what I mean? I do my homework. I was watching these joints like game films last night preparing for this, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always learned proper preparation prevents poor performance. I studied this, man. This is a way of life. This is real deal for me, man. This is everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn this into currency. That's the difference between most people. People come here, they sit on this couch, they go back and forth, they play with flip, pause, and they leave, and they get a couple weeks of good views, and then they go away. I am going to turn this into currency. I'm going to turn this into a movie. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to turn this into a movie. If y'all do your part, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to get some money off of this. I promise you. And I'm going to show y'all the proof. I'm going to screenshot the proof to y'all. And y'all going to be like, damn, that boy really did that. The greatest hustler alive. Let me take these Tom Fords off, too, because I don't want them to say I had my glasses on the whole time. Take the Tom Fords off real quick. Let them see them pretty browns. Let them see them. I'm going to put them back on now. I'm going to put them back on now. Don't do it, G. Philly in the building, West Philly.
He cool, man.
Tell him, G. G, tell him, G. Tell him, G.
You gotta love us.
Tell him, G.
You gotta love us.
Tell him, G. Free Kill King, free AR Ab. Philly in the building, man. Free Dark Low. We in the building, man. Free Rollo. Free the Ox.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question. What made you so when did the music thing come in? What made you get into music?
I gotta give props to Major Figures and State Property. I mean, I feel like they made rap cool. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You think about this, like I said, when I was young, rapping in Philly was like corny. It was like backpackers and, you know what I mean? Like dudes at the lunch table beatboxing and stuff. That was corny. But then the figures like was rapping about like street stuff and Prada and Fly, shout to Spado, you know what I'm saying? Shout to Gilly, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout to Ab Lava, and then of course State Property, you know what I mean? The figures like kicked the door. You know, the figures like kicked the door, and then the property just knocked it off the hinges. Beanie Siegel, Freeway, you know what I'm saying? Young Gunner, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they made it cool. They made it cool. They made it wavy. They made it live, like what I'm doing. Like I make it cool, you know what I'm saying? Like I make it wavy, you know what I'm saying? Like certain people could do something and it's not cool.
That's number two.
You got to be cool, you know what I'm saying?
So before them, who'd you guys play in Philly? Well, who'd you guys play hip hop wise before Major Figures and them? You guys play New York music out there or New York artists?
Not me. I was real geo back then. I was real geographical. So I was like, for me, like my first love for hip hop was always Philly stuff. Like I'm always gonna say Philly people. Like I can't front. Like even if we, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just always been Philly for me. But if you're talking about in a whole, of course, you know what I mean? People, you know, like my neighbors would be listening to, you know, whatever New York had going on. New York right down the street, so they would always love it. I grew to love New York after my love. Like I give the credit to the property and figures for making me even love hip hop.
Gotcha.
And then I explore other, you know what I'm saying? Then New York is my second home. So
but walk us through how you first started making music. What year and how you first started making music?
I can't write in the game, man. Like let me tell you how I'm the greatest hustler alive. This start from the beginning. Flip. So right, I literally went to the studio. This is no look. I called myself trying to be a rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this little music store. I got an instrumental. Got the instrumental to Uchi Wally. I go to the studio, and I like wrote my little rap, like this corny rap I wrote, and then I'm in a booth rapping it. So the dude is like, "Yo, you ready for your ad libs?" And I'm like, "What's that?" I didn't even know what ad libs was. So the dude was like, "That's when you say some of the words, whatever." Boom, boom, boom. Fast forward, I did 2 tracks. It was $50 an hour. I'll never forget. I did 2 tracks for that hour. I gave him $50. I left. I got a little CD burn. I'm like, I'm a rapper now. Like I'm a rapper. I took my little CD. I wrote a note to Damon C. Williams from the Philadelphia Daily News. I wrote him a note about this rapper named Tone Trump that he just had to hear. Yo, this dude Tone Trump is fire, blah, 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 blah. Thinking like, you know what I mean? Because the Daily News had an entertainment section and it had his number and stuff. The dude calls me back. Yo, Tone Trump, I want to interview Tone Trump. So literally like a week after me getting a rap name, recording my first 2 freestyles that were completely garbage, I got a full-page article in the Philadelphia Daily News with my picture and everything. This like our real paper. This like being in the New York Daily News. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how they don't usually put rappers in there unless they getting arrested. So they wrote a whole story on me, how I'm next up, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm like, oh, I got to, you know, I had this white boy in my building. At this time, this back in the day, I'm already living in condos downtown. This white boy named Mike Fazio lived in my building. I had him make me a MySpace page. And from there, I just started doing what I always did. Whenever I get into something, I attack it like it's my last day. I came into the rap game not knowing how to rap, and I just elevated and elevated and elevated. I learned right away. I was watching everybody what they was doing, and all of those dudes, I knew I had to cater to my strengths, and I knew, you know what I knew I could do better than everybody? You probably could see already. I know she know I could talk better than everybody. So I would get on these Philly DVDs, and I would talk heavy, talk trash, talk shit, talk. I mean, I was just talking so much trash that people was like, who is this dude? Who is he? The main thing people would say is, I know who he is, but I never heard his music because I didn't have no music. You know what I'm saying? They used to think I was insulted by that. Like, yo, everybody say they never heard your music. I got 2 songs. Of course, my people that hang with me never heard my music. You know what I mean? My mom nobody heard my music. I haven't heard my music. But I was just on every DVD talking heavy. My MySpace, you know, obviously, no homo. I'm an attractive man. So I had a lot of female followers on the MySpace going crazy for me. I'm in everybody top 8, I'm everybody top 3, top 1. I was the WCW before it was the WCW, so the females made me their favorite.
That top 8 was serious.
It was super serious. And I'm
serious.
talking about I was in people that count. Like, you know what I mean? I was in people who count top 8. So I was just lit. I was viral before viral, and it just kept going and going and going. For instance, like, you know what I mean? I get a call one day, somebody said, yo, you on WorldStar. You know what I said to the person? I said, what's WorldStar? Oh, it's this new website. Woo, woo, woo. 2 months later, the owner of WorldStar is calling me WorldStar Tony. You know what I mean? I'm making $5,000. When people was paying to get on WorldStar, I was making money off WorldStar. You know what I mean? I'm talking about real money. You know what I mean? Doing real deals. You know, I was setting it up back then where I was having it, you know, shout to Q, man. You know, God bless the dead. You know, I had Q working with me where I was setting up where I would do features for dudes, and part of the feature would be I would shoot the video, and then I would get our video on WorldStar. So I had 100 videos on WorldStar. You know, I was up there 3 times a day just beating it up. And this is at a time where WorldStar was becoming like being on TV. So now I'm flying all over the country off being WorldStar Tony, getting booked. Been winning since day one. It's been a blessing. I mean, I can't front. Like I wish, like I would, you know what I mean? Like it almost sound like a lie, but it's all real. Like you could look it all up, everything, like every move, like every time I got into something, it would just Allah would just bless me and elevate me. You know what I'm saying? And
what was your
grateful.
first? Sorry, what was your first feature?
My first paid feature or like big feature like an artist?
Well, your first feature, because it's I know
I've never paid for a feature in my career. Shout to me. Literally, I've never paid nobody to get on a song. And when you think about that for a second, you're talking about a guy who has songs with
CeeLo Green.
I have an album with CeeLo Green,
Right.
a whole album. 5-time Grammy winning CeeLo Green. I have an album with him. I just got finished playing that for an executive in Union, New Jersey before I came here. That's out of here. Mashallah. But I'm talking about features. I've worked with Birdman, Akon, Styles P, I mean, Chief Keef. I mean, the list goes on. The Beanie Siegel, Freeway. You name them. You know what I'm saying? You name them. K Slay, Funk Flex. You name them. I'm not nobody's cousin. I'm not nobody's friend. This is all prayer and hard work, hustling smart. You know what I'm saying? I've been on Hot 97 since 09. I was on Hot 97 last week. How many people first record they got on Hot 97 got played in 09 record played last week? Not many. You know my graduating class I came with. Dudes either blew up and went major, like a French, and then there's 1,000 other dudes who now working regular jobs somewhere. I'm flying to Africa Sunday as Tone Trump.
First of all, slow down, man. Like enough with the theatrics. Enough.
There's no theatrics.
Yeah, chill out, man. Chill out. I like your jacket.
Yo,
chill out, man. Chill out.
When it sounds so good, it almost sounds like a lie. But you know,
I believe you, but I just feel like you're putting a lot of emphasis in these conversations. And
can we pause 1 minute because my phone is going crazy? Let me just make one call and then I'm gonna hand somebody else my phone.
Sure. So let's.
You from the nice part of Queens? Or are you from the?
I don't know where I'm from. All
right. Yeah, that's right. It's my interview. Let me talk.
Yeah. How you got up with? Because they said that you had a.
Come on, man. You better than that. Get off of that Wikipedia and all that. Let's have a conversation, man.
I got
Come on, G, buddy. All you supposed to do is research before you get here. Don't do that to me.
I did, but you see, the questions that I want to ask, I don't want to get into it yet.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a long night.
Okay.
So allow me.
Okay.
Don't come here and try to tell me how to do what I'm doing.
You right.
We got notes that we go to each other.
You right.
All right, so slow down.
Let's go.
Because I want to know about certain individuals, but I want to take it slow. I don't want to go into certain individuals that may cause a certain tone. I mean, I want to start off.
Man, get to them, man.
Get to
them people.
We like that song.
Yeah. I want to be cool real quick, but yeah, it did say that you had a on Wikipedia. You had a record called "Every Day Is Crazy" with these two gentlemen. I guess it was the anti-violence record. Like, who are these dudes? I guess it says Jay Bezel and some,
that was some not. Shout out to Malik Aziz, man, from Men United. We actually just went to go visit him. Me and one of the brothers here with me, man. He's one of the elders. He's a former gang leader who is doing like the brothers that come home and then they inspired to like do right. And he basically reached out to a bunch of rappers in Philly. That was probably over a decade ago. And they did a movie called Close to Death. It was basically a documentary about people who had survived being shot, gun violence in Philly, which is still a problem, unfortunately. And I was one of the people that spearheaded, paused that project, and we went around touring the schools, and it was a dope vibe.
All right, let's get it. So let's start off with. At the time, people were accusing you, you had the Joey Jihads and that were accusing you of having fake jewelry. Mm-hmm. Are you going to finally admit that, or are you going to still stand on your square that the jewelry wasn't fake? Because back in the day, back at those times, people, were buying those type of, not even intentionally, but getting tricked by the jewelers. Mm-hmm. So, is there any truth to what they said? Because some of the diamonds, I watched a video a long time ago and I watched it recently again. Those kind of colors of those diamonds are real expensive. We talking about in the millions, those type of colors, exotic colors. It's rare, the real ones. Mm-hmm. So, I want to know, what's your opinion on that or what happened?
Before I answer that question, because like I said, I'm not going to run from no questions. Before I answer that question, I want to take the time to tell everybody, I want to drop jewels. I want to educate as well as entertain. So I came on with the fly stuff. So I want to educate real quick. I want you to pause this video right now, and I want you to Google what's going on in Palestine right now, what's going on in Gaza right now, and just educate yourself. You don't have to be Muslim to care. You just have to be human. So I just want, I see a lot of people come on here and they do a lot of bragging. They do a lot of tough talk. They do a lot of controversy talk. I want to do that too, but I also want to educate. So I want people to pray for Palestine, and not only pray for them, but educate yourself what's going on in Palestine right now. Google Palestine, Google Gaza. Just know that if it can happen there, it can happen here, it can happen anywhere. Educate yourself, and just know that prayer is the weapon of the believer. To answer your question about that, when you talk about jewelry, I'll say this about jewelry, bro. The same people that talked about the jewelry I was wearing at that time, the same artists who talked about my jewelry, double back and shop with the same jeweler that I was getting my jewelry from. If you watch those videos, the response video, the person who talked about my jewelry went into that same jewelry store, the artist you mentioned, because if we're gonna talk about situations, you said Joey Jihad, who now me and Joey Jihad at that time we were having a little issue, but now we good, so I don't want to rehash nothing. Right. Shout out to Joey Jihad. He went into that jewelry store and took picture with jewelry on to make the cover of his CD. What he didn't know is in the process of him doing that, one of the chains he had on was actually one of my chains. Because when I would go out of town, sometimes I would take, which a lot of people do, you take your jewelry back to the jewelry store, whether they get cleaned, whether they get diamonds replaced, different things like that. So if you're going to bring up the video of them talking about my jewelry being fake, you have to also talk about the response video, which featured the jeweler, the same jeweler who made pretty much every rapper in Philly's jewelry at that time, co-signing that I spent the most money in that jewelry store.
I saw that.
Okay, you ain't mentioned that. He also mentioned that Joey Jihad came in there and took pictures and didn't buy anything out the jewelry store. So he went in there. The person who you said my jewelry was fake went in, took a picture, took a bunch of pictures, then took the jewelry off and left. And that was his main picture, which I showed on World Star video that went classically viral. Also, if you remember, the other person in that video who mentioned me about my jewelry, I wound up exposing him as what? I'll let you say it. You remember what he was exposed as?
No.
He was exposed as a child molester. World Star labeled it the quickest career ender in hip-hop history. He dissed me on Monday. Monday night, I put up the video showing him on Megan's Law, and we never heard from him again. So,
how did you find that out?
Intel, man. Somebody sent me a message. Somebody who actually, I met him through that message, and it's funny, they still my brother to this day. He had sent me a message and said, yo, the dude that's dissing you with Joey Jihad, he's on Megan's Law. I replied back. I said, I need his name, bro. I need his name. He gave me his government name, and the brother was on Megan's Law. And that almost got me in trouble because you're not allowed to use Megan's Law to tease or threaten anybody. So the police actually was like on my back a little bit about it. That's why that video actually got deleted. My response video, you can't find nowhere on the internet because it was legal ramifications because they felt like I used Megan's Law to like intimidate or whatever, which he probably told on me because when he knew I had that information, first he denied it. I had them on the phone behind closed doors. I was trying to get a bag out of him. I was like, yo, bring me a couple dollars. I won't expose it. You know what I'm saying? I was going to expose it anyway, but I was going to try to get a bag too. And he couldn't come up with the bag. I pressed the go button. World Star backed it. The thing went viral before it was going viral. So that's how I'm going to answer that question, man. Google Palestine, yo.
And so when you said the person that was in, because two people dissed you at the same time. It was Joey Jihad and the Mike Knox dude. Is that the second guy we're talking about? Or
no. Mike Knox wasn't that dude. Mike Knox, no, I definitely don't want people to think that. Mike Knox, he just came on from jail not long ago. Yeah, he definitely wasn't in jail for no freaky stuff like that guy was. Okay. Yeah, so I wasn't talking about Knox on that one.
Why were those dudes at the time coming at you? What did you have any running in with them in the street, or it was just a competitive thing? Because you, in your words, not in my words, I just want to clear that you were hot.
If they ain't hating, you ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? I was, like I said, I was the hottest artist at the time. I was the hottest artist who also wasn't affiliated and wasn't friends with anybody. So it's like it was cool. It became cool to hate on me, and honestly, I earned a lot of that hate too. I was very arrogant. I talked way better than what my music was. I was very popular. You know what I mean? These same dudes were sending videos to World Star, and World Star was replying back with that user submission fee and all of that. And they was wondering how I was up there 5 times. Like, I literally could eat a salad and it'd be on World Star. Tone Trump eats a salad. These dudes are shooting videos and vlogs, and they couldn't do nothing. They you know what they figured out? If I diss Tone Trump, that's the only way I get on there. And that's what really was happening.
So none of this stemmed from anything. It's just you were just hot and they came at
well,
you.
each situation is different. I was beefing with so many people. Some of that stuff came from different stuff. Like, me and Mike Knox, we was in a group together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Shout to Mike Knox, shout to Kodak, shout to Vig. We was in a group together, and he had got locked up. While he was locked up, I had brokered a production deal with Steve Morales. I moved to Miami. I was feeling myself. I was young. I had a whole bunch of money. I was very arrogant. And it was like the big brother, little brother thing. You know what I mean? He was trying to check me as a big brother. And when he went to jail, he was like my big brother. But while he was in jail, I had came up a little bit, and I was feeling myself like, you ain't my boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was bossing up now. So it was a clash of egos, a clash of power. And Mike Knox is very respected in Philly. So when me and Mike Knox went to our little beef or whatever, people chose sides. And I feel like so many people were scared of him. People chose his side and act like they didn't like me. People would see me on the low and be all, you know what I mean? Yo, man, you killing it. But these people wouldn't show me no love in public. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to offend Knox. Knox was moving around at the time. Knox was wilding at that time. He'd tell you so. I let him say it, but he was wilding at the time. You know what I'm saying? So when me and him was going at it, that was very real. That was a very real situation. That was past rap because we really knew each other. And it was really like the people around us who was really trying to hurt each other because me and him the whole time, even though we wasn't liking each other, I knew deep down he had a certain love for me, and I know I had a certain love for him. But it was also pride and ego stuff going on too. So that could have got very ugly. I'm glad that didn't.
Pride and ego is the number one, cause to a lot of situations in our society, in our community.
Absolutely.
And I kind of, now you gaining my respect a little bit, 5%, out of 100. You just gained my respect by acknowledging that at the time.
Only 5?
Yeah, only 5. At the time that you were in an ignorant state. I actually respect that.
Right.
Real talk, I want to salute you for that, man. Because you acknowledged that, when he got locked up, you were, you came up and you took responsibility for your ignorant behavior.
Absolutely.
And I salute you for that.
Absolutely.
And I like that, man. It's a hard thing to do.
Well, it's not. You know what it is, man? When you secure and you confident as I am, you know what I mean? I can't come in here talking how I talk, looking how I look, wearing these $2,000 jeans. You know what I'm saying? Coming here talking about flying to Africa Sunday. I can't talk that talk and be sensitive. I can't talk that talk and be disingenuous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my story is my story, and I'm going to use my story to inspire others. I do that every day. So the people that watch me, the reason why people see me, when they see me praying 5 times a day now, when they see me in Mecca, when they see me in Medina, when they see me doing these give backs, I want to talk about some of that stuff too. When we talk about beefs, I want to talk about, feeding the homeless.
But don't tell us. We're going to get to it.
No, I'm not telling you nothing, but let me talk my talk too.
Okay.
You talk your talk, I'm going to talk my talk.
Yeah, but I'm going to get to it though, because
you definitely are. Inshallah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it because you letting your
shout out to my hoodie too, MDF Muslim Don family.
Shout out to MDF. I would like one, but hopefully,
you gotta take Shahada first.
You gotta take
Shahada.
You
gotta take Shahada.
You gotta respect us a little bit more. 5% ain't enough to get you nowhere.
You gotta take Shahada first.
And you gotta be a Muslim God. You gotta take Shahada first.
I respect you guys, but he gained my. It's different.
A little more, 5% more.
It's a different type of respect.
Right.
As men, I respect everyone. You guys came in my home with respect, showed me love. Right. So the respect. Now we talking about letting your nuts hang.
Pause.
I can't respect it. He's dragging it. So now I respect it 5%.
Hardwood stains.
He's dragging it. You know what I'm saying? He came in, G-Money like, yo, flip. G-Money give me the look like, yo, flip. Woo. So I got to slow it down. But as men, I salute all these guys are here respectful. You know what I mean? They ain't give me I say, you can't record. I salute guys like that, man. It's not no extra stuff. Stand up men. You know what I'm saying?
Men of honor, and we take accountability for everything we do.
And I respect that.
That means a lot. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get to you in 2 seconds. Another question I want to ask you. Since I'm going on I saw the video with that Louis V guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that stem from? I saw the video. I saw you stood there. You didn't run. I saw the video. I had to rewatch. I had to remind myself. Because, I did.
What happened again? You said I stood there.
I'm not going to give you that much credit. You know what happened. But I stood there and I watched because I wanted to catch you on something. I said, yeah, I'll get him. And no, you stood there. You didn't move. Where did that?
How many people was? How many? It was how many against one?
It was a lot of. It was about 5 or 6 hitting you. Yeah.
I never fell.
No, you didn't fall.
Never ran.
But hold on. You probably didn't fall because you probably braced yourself. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes
fear of law and nothing else, man. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. One thing I don't do is I never ever question the cutter of a law. Everything is already written. That moment right there was meant to destroy me. That moment was meant to at that time I was affiliated and signed to one of the biggest artists in the world, Young Jeezy. I had a record with Jeezy. I was going around the world picking up so much money. That happened on a Sunday. That particular Sunday that happened was one of the most successful financial weeks of my life. I'll never forget. I had like 5 shows that weekend. I had no business really being at the Philly Hip Hop Awards because I was on fire. I just got back from down south, North Carolina, Raleigh, Greensboro. Like and you've been on the road, Flip, and you know how it goes. Like you can go into one city, G Money, you know this too, and you can do 5 things. Like so, I would do 2 features at $3,000 a piece. I had a walkthrough for $2,000. I had a show for $5,000. You know what I mean? So I literally came back at this time. You know, I'm talking 22. I'm talking a bag of money. You know what I mean? I'm running around. I got a song called Afghan featuring GC. It's streaming crazy. Shout to Jeezy. And that incident was a situation where at that time he was affiliated with Meek Mills. He is a hungry artist. He looked at it like a situation I felt to me. Only thing I could do is speak for me because I've really never used to answer this question, but it's old now, mashallah. So the one thing I would say is I felt like he saw opportunity and he felt like it was going to look like, because at the time it was like Ross and Jeezy was having smoke. So I think he wanted it to look like some Maybach, CTE, Dream Chaser type thing. You know what I mean? He was chasing a bag. That's how I look at it, because that person who you mentioned, who tried to bust the move, was under my wing before he was even with Meek. A lot of people don't know that when they think about the backdrop of that story. Like, that was my bro at one point. You know what I mean?
I see you guys were on Sub-Zero together.
There you go. You did your homework.
I did.
And he was right next to me on there.
That's a fact. You were the white guy as well.
Right. So, you know what I mean? So, I'm glad you you did your homework. So, which I was dominating them Sub-Zeros, and a lot of people in New York.
Let's talk about it. Come on.
Yeah, okay,
Stop,
cover boy.
It's dragging again.
Cover boy. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah, cover boy. Only one from Philly on the cover of the Sub-Zeros, but yeah, selling out, touring off of them too. Add sub about that. Add sub about the bag I made with him. But anyway, I felt like that's what that was about. I felt like that was that look, that was that move, and I don't hold no ill will towards him. That move, it just disappointed me because it was just like, damn, this somebody who really know me. This somebody who I've helped before. You know what I'm saying? And he really was trying to just end my whole situation, because that was supposed to be Tone Trump gets knocked out, robbed, blah, and I would go away. And honestly, that move, like I said, Allah, he covers me and blesses me so much that a move that was supposed to destroy me made me bigger than life. People from all over were like saluting me, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I talk so much trash that, like you said, people were looking for something to be like, they got him, and they didn't get me, mashallah.
I mean, you did, and I watched the video, you were faced in one way and then you got snuck and you didn't fall. But
I slipped and threw a jab.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, good job. The thing is, when you paraphrase, this is my issue, and I like what you said today as far as like promoting, and you could also, when you're ready, to plug in another positivity quote, make sure you check out, Google Palestine, because
please do,
because if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah, it can happen here.
That's right.
But when somebody say he was under my wing, it was my man, because I did see you guys together, and don't tell the backstory of what went wrong, it sort of puzzles me, unless it's street stuff that you can't really talk about.
It's definitely some street stuff.
Okay.
He talked about it in an interview recently. I'll say that, and I've always prided myself in not really bringing street stuff to this. I'm a superstar.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't. This is a beautiful, powerful platform. I feel watched by everybody. You know what I mean? I got fans in federal government. You know what I mean? I don't want to wake no dumb stuff up. So it was definitely some street stuff, and like I said, he spoke about it in an interview, which, like I said, surprised me. But I'm definitely not in the streets. I don't have nothing to do with the streets. You know what I mean? I'm a praying Muslim. I'm a mogul. I'm a father. And
would you? Sorry,
I'm a winner. I'm a hustler.
Would you ever sit down and have a conversation with him to make amends, or that situation? Because you said that you to me that you sort of stripped your ego and pride now. To me, you're like a new man. From what I watched, even growing up, watch you on World Star. So, would you be open to have a conversation? No. You would not be open to have a conversation.
No, it's no need for it. Some things, is but left undone. I don't hold no ill will. I don't, it was a time I did, but some things you just got to move forward from. You know what I'm saying? That if that would have went as they planned, that would have affected my children. That would have affected my mother. And by the mercy of Allah, it didn't. But that's too much right there. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not there yet. That's not to say I won't get there, but I've had people reach out to me before that I respect in the streets and stuff, you know, and say, you know, would you be willing to talk? But no, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be willing to talk. But at the same time, I don't have no ill will towards the brother or his family or nothing he got going on.
No, I was going to just ask, like, how do you, you know, move forward after that? Like, you know, this is someone you said you had under the wing. Like, how do you process that as far as your people around you after that or at that time? Like, your close friends and people that you do business with, like, how do you trust?
Well, one part of that story that he didn't, but was very key in that story, on that video, one of the things that was very, very hurtful and embarrassing about that video was, at the time, somebody who was looked at as my brother ran on me in that video. You know, somebody who wound up, you know, years later, we wound up finding out he was a rat, you know, was wearing wires on dudes, millions, a stone cold rat, stone cold coward. You know, he left me for dead that day. You know, if them dudes would have jumped me the right way, you know, you watch the video, you see him cowering off, backing out, and he ran and he left me. And
it's playing right now. I'm watching it again.
That hurt me more than any punch thrown. You know what I mean? Just watching somebody that I got money with, travel with, pray with, leave me for dead, and also, like I said, even worse than leaving me getting jumped, turned out to be a rat, a disgusting rat, something that I despise.
The dude with the hat on, right? In the like, he backed off. Yes, he did.
He ran. He flew.
Well, he backed off.
He moonwalked on camera, but he flew.
Oh, he flew after.
He was gone.
And then we find out that this man was a stone cold rat.
A definite rat. I got the, you know, and not just bigger than documents. I got the actual wiretaps.
Interesting. Did he wiretap you?
He called me one time and tried to talk about some stuff that I was just like, why he calling me with this stuff I don't know nothing about. I just hung up the phone, and then, you know, mashallah, lucky for me, I didn't pertain in any of that conversation, because a good friend of mine in Philly wound up hitting me one day and was like, yo, I need you to hear something. He emails me the wiretaps. Ran into a couple dudes that's locked up. You know, he telling on their case, so it just was a bad situation. I put out a PSA just letting everybody know that, you know, I have nothing to do with him. At the time when he got exposed as a rat, I hadn't seen him in about 3 years, because I never talked to him again after that situation. Because when that happened, I didn't know he ran till the video came out. I'm going to tell you how much love WorldStar had for me. You know, WorldStar put up any fight. That fight never went on WorldStar. They sent it to WorldStar, and WorldStar sent it to me and was like, yo, these dudes trying to get us to put this up, but take a look at, they told me the time. They said, yo, your brother runs. You know, you might want to see what your brother did, because I didn't know. People was in my Instagram comments that was there. It was like, yo, that's crazy. Your man left you. And I called him. I was like, yo, why people saying you left me? Because he told me he was like on the side fighting some other dudes. I believed him. We had been through way worse stuff than that before. You know what I mean? Like, because at that time, I was living very wild. I was on the road. Like, even that weekend, I went through something way wilder than that. You know, anybody that know about touring down south, man, it get real down there. Them boys down there get real down there. You down in North Carolina where everybody is strapped legally. I mean, in the club. You know what I mean? It get real wild. So being, you know, an artist on the grind, on the road like that, I'm in every small little club. You know, like these little clubs y'all got in the Bronx. I'm in those type of clubs in every city in America. You know, going around hustling. Somebody want to feature after the show, we going to the projects to do it. We risking it all for this. So for that to happen where it happened at, even where that happened at, is a shopping district. That wasn't like we was in the hood where they tried to pop off at. We was in the middle of, you know, like downtown Philadelphia. So, you know, that was all, like I said, I didn't lose, I learned. I win or I learned. In that situation, I won and I learned.
So you watch battle rap, yes?
Oh, you know I do. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch as much as I should no more, but because I'm just so busy. But I got mad love for a lot of battle rappers, though.
And off the strength, because my man spoke to him today, and he's doing new things with his podcast. And he asked me, you know, not to hash up anything that's going to make it seem like, you know, he has any issue with Tone Trump or I want to say that he was very respectful, like any issue or, you know, I got a podcast, I'm doing positive things, and, you know, the internet is the internet or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what who I'm referring to. I'm pretty sure.
When I think about podcasts, I think about Flip the Script. I think about Wallow and Gilly. You know what I mean? I don't know.
My man Mav Hoffa got a podcast called My Expert Opinion. It's doing very well. Eminem just shouted out. Not saying you may care or not, But
He said Eminem shouted it out. That's definitely his man. He threw the tagline on it. Eminem.
I'm saying no. I'm just saying you might not care or not. But what I'm saying is that do you look at situations like that as beef, or is just like internet stuff? Do you look at a situation like that or a misunderstanding with him as a beef, or is just a because? And the reason why I said I had to put the disclaimer because you're answering everything, and I did speak to him today.
You won't let me answer it or not?
No, hold on.
Because when it get to your man, you making a question long. You gotta let me talk.
No. I'm gonna let you talk. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to because I was asked not to do something. So I don't want to make it seem, but I can't.
When you start listening, you always just starting shit.
I didn't just listen. I just spoke about it.
Right.
So I did not listen, but
right.
I do have to say the positive. It was no malicious annotation into that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, it was like I'm not on that type of time or anything. That's what I want to say. So, how did you look at that situation? Just wanted to put that there.
I look at a situation like this, man. Like me being who I am in the position and the level I am right now, man. Like I said, I turn every negative to a positive. So if you say something was a beef, if I had a beef, I wouldn't talk about it on the interview. You know what I mean? Because if I have a beef, man, I'm going to handle a beef, and I would like it to stay in the streets. I don't feel like the streets should stay in the streets, and the internet. When I'm on the internet, I should be talking about, my platform, my merchandise, my music, my business, how much I love my children, how handsome I am, my jeans. I just walked New York Fashion Week too. That's major. I just did that. Shout out to Burning Guitars.
Chill,
you know what I'm saying? Like I really, you know what I mean?
4 or 5 I didn't throw it.
NY Fashion Week, that's major. Like you talking about somebody Eminem shouting somebody out. Yeah, I did NY Fashion. Shout out to Lord Jamar. I did NY Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You talking about Eminem. Shout out to Lord Jamar. I like Eminem just as much as Lord Jamar like Eminem. So my Eminem.
My main thing. So I said that because
I know I'm having fun. I gotta talk my talk.
No, talk. I'm not mad. I hear your man hyping you. And
I'm trying to make you walk in the closet. I ain't
gonna walk there yet. No, the thing is though.
Listen, but like I said,
have you watched this podcast? It's dope.
Nah, I ain't
never
watched it. I ain't never watched it.
It's peace. It's dope.
You're
a nice guy. I'm gonna watch it.
You and Eminem watching it. That's major right there. He got you and Eminem. He don't need me. One thing I say though, man. That's a situation I never talked about like that. I knew when your producer hit me, the first thing I saw the first thing that came to mind was you asking about that guy. And one thing that I will say about that situation that I've never said before is, one thing that I did respect is he came to me at a time where like a lot of dudes was talking. I'll just say that, whatever happened between us, it was a real situation. The one thing I didn't respect is whenever he told the story, I don't feel like he was 100% honest. And when I was asked about it, I wouldn't answer because at the time, I really looked at it like he ain't nobody that I really need to be worrying about. I was looking at it like who? Like because to be perfectly honest with you, it all started from a rap battle. He had a battle with a rapper. The rapper mentioned me in his battle, and then he rebutted the rapper and dissed me. And people were hitting me saying, yo, so-and-so dissed you. Not being funny enough, and I didn't know who they was talking about when he dissed me. So when I saw who he dissed me, my reply wasn't, I'm going to kill this person. My reply was, I'm getting money in New York every week. This person will never get money in Philadelphia. He will never get a paid show in Philadelphia. He will never get no money in Philadelphia. That was like my reply. That was me, the arrogant me. And I was being honest. Even when we had our incident, I was coming off stage from headlining in New York City, where a bunch of New York rappers y'all all know opened up for me. I was headlining, SOBs, coming off the stage, winning, shining, glowing. So my thing was, it was never, when you say beef is such a strong word. But one thing I will say, because like you said he was saying something positive. Yeah. I'll say something positive. One thing I always respected is he bored it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like how he narrated it, but I'm a rapper too. So, you put the spin on it. But one thing I do know, in any situation, I either win or I learn. And in that situation, I won and I learned. Everything I said, and I carried it like a man and like a boss the whole time. So much real stuff happened that night. And every interview I did, I could have made myself seem so gangster, so cool, so wavy. You know what I did? I don't know what y'all talking about. I was doing some of the biggest platforms at the time. So what happened with, I don't know what you're talking about. That's how I carried it. And I could look back at that with so much pride. And I don't have to have nothing ashamed about. I handle mine like a man. just like every situation, and I'm still undefeated. I'm still pretty. I'm here right now. I'm
from Queens, man.
Shout to Queens. You know I got money with 50 before. You looked it up. You ain't want to ask about that though.
No, I'm gonna ask
Shout
you.
to 50.
I want to do it. Don't
stutter now. Shout to 50. Shout to Queens. Shout to the real Queens.
Yo, don't do it.
I
I am the real Queen.
Yeah, Chink, Stack Bundles,
Rest in
Maserati
peace.
Fox.
Yeah, rest in peace to my brothers. I know.
I know. Why you don't got Bino head on? Ghost got you a nice check, huh? Shout to Ghost. Shout to Ghost. Shout to Bambi. Shout to Maestro. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yo, chill out.
Shout
Don't
to Queens.
Don't ever do
Shout to
nothing like that in your life. You hear me?
Shout to Halal Bros. Shout to Halal Bros. Shout to Halal Bros. Yeah.
Huh? You count my pockets like that? How you gonna say that, boy?
Catch you on Rosedale again.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm from and I'm out there.
Yeah, I know.
Catch me if you can, huh? I'll play tag every day. Pause. Labels. Let's talk about, because you were Jeezy.
MDF. Muslim Don Family.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Paul, me.
Shout to Malia, Skibo Debo, John Doe, YMG.
Respect the brother.
Let me talk. I couldn't wait for this joy. Yo, is my Yeezy showing? Your cameraman? All right. These jeans showing. Did I mention I walked New York Fashion Week? Did I mention that?
Yeah, you did.
I had my own jeans on Doc and Don denim.
Show the Yeezys a little bit in the camera.
Let's show the Doc. No. Let's show the Doc and Don denims. I don't get paid for the Yeezys.
Okay.
See that MDF on my jeans? That MDF. Shout to Dr. Stitchenstein. MDF.
You like stuff like
How much jeans cost again? You said how much jeans cost?
The jeans range from $1,500 to $3,500. Every pair is a one-on-one. Doc and Don. Debuted at New York Fashion Week. Doc and Don jeans.
Bags, he can't help it. Why you mad at
Doc and Don jeans.
He like this.
Yeah, he love it.
He like this stuff.
He don't like
Like
he love it. He don't like he love it.
And the reason before we get to MDF, because I want that to be a section,
right?
You know what I mean,
right?
With the respect within itself. But I want to go through because, like I said, you was with Jeezy. You also got a project with CeeLo. You G Unit South. So which one of those came first? If you could walk us through. Which one of those was first? Cause I try to look like, man, which one was first, man?
Well, the first thing was I'm always a leader. So you see this TN on my hand. Top Notch was my own company. So even when I didn't know what I was doing, I was a boss. I believed in it so much. When I was everybody tatted now, but when I was getting tatted, it was like you look like a Mexican. I was been getting tatted. I was been getting inked up. Now you look, everybody got tats, face tats. But that TN for Top Notch. Top Notch came first. I started that my own company. From there, the G Unit Philly, you said G Unit South. It was G Unit Philly. The affiliation with G Unit Philly came from Mike Knox. Like I said, we was in a group. Knox had a situation, building with Yayo and 50. They put something together. What a lot of people don't know is we shot a whole pilot for a reality show. 50 was back in the reality show, and Knox got locked up. Vade got locked up. Basically, it was just a bunch of stuff with guys going in and out of jail. Lines got crossed, communication got crossed, things were left. But the G Unit situation came before CTE. CTE is obviously Jeezy. That came about. I was, like I said, always hustling and trapping in and out of states and out of countries, doing my thing. And one day Jeezy was in Philly, and I met with his peoples. I was already working with Slick Puller, working with other dudes from CTE, just on my own, just hustling. And the vice president at the time, Carbon, was like, yo, man, you need to be over here type time. And, Snow want to talk to you, talking about Jeezy. And, at that point in my career, I was hearing from everybody. So I wasn't like, Jeezy was my favorite rapper. But at the same time, I wasn't like G Money told you. He was seeing me in labels. I was meeting with everybody. I pretty much could have signed who I wanted to. I had a record called Afghan that was just, Flex was dropping bombs. It was going crazy. And I was living in my downtown loft, Philadelphia loft, before the Jeezy deal. When I got the call to do they called me and said Jeezy wanted to get on my record. And that record changed my life. He did a verse of me to the Afghan record. I put Jeezy on the record, and a month later, he announced I was officially a part of CTE, TM 103 tour, did a whole album over there, did a whole compilation album over there. Things got a little crazy. Jeezy had did a situation at Atlantic. When he left Atlantic, things fell apart. And, the ills of the music industry, you know what I mean?
What do you mean things got crazy? Don't say the ills of the music industry.
I mean, the ills of the music industry. Like, if everything that was promised to me would have happened, man, I would have pulled up today in a helicopter. But, things didn't go as planned.
What do you think? What do you think went wrong with it? You said that he had issues.
I feel like it's just the cutter of a law. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a law put me in a position to compete with a Jeezy, not to work for a Jeezy. So I feel like, I'm the one artist to leave CTE and never say nothing negative about him. You can look it up. Everybody that left had something negative to say, and some of them dudes is my brothers. So I'm not saying it disrespectfully, but I've always been so grateful for the opportunity. Like I literally remember me in Mossberg being on 54th Street, you know what I'm saying, putting stuff together, listening to Jeezy first album. So to go from that to being in the Circle House studio, doing 6 songs with him in one night and traveling with him and touring with him and living that rap life with him, I could never ever say nothing bad about him. I learned so much, even through the things that I thought were mistakes. I learned, like I said, I never lost. I either won or I learned. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, you ask anybody who their favorite rapper is, and you say, what would you do if you got to work with your favorite rapper? Like, I got to really travel, work, and learn, get money with, and I'm forever grateful for that. I took that song Afghan he did with me, and I turned that song into properties. I turned that song into world tours. I turned that song. I made well over 6 figures off that one record. So and I can never deny that. So I'm forever grateful. So when you say what went wrong and what bad, it's hard for me to say some of those things without feeling like I'm disrespecting them, and I never want to do that. So shout to Jeezy, shout out to Carbon, shout out to everybody. You know, even Freddie Gibbs. When I was over there with Freddie Gibbs, I feel like my music is better because I was around Freddie Gibbs and he was so good. I knew like I had to be better. Like they was putting beats on and I would be looking at him writing in his phone. I'm like, this nigga's about to go crazy. Like I can't have him just murdering me on every song. So, you know, still sharp and still. So I'm forever grateful for that whole moment, that situation. Even the Mike Knox situation. You know, Mike Knox, you know, at the time that, you know, he came and showed me love, it was a time where, like I said, it wasn't like I was super popping. I was just grinding, doing my thing. And next thing I know, I'll never forget, I was at the Plateau one time and he called my phone and put me on the phone with 50. At that time, that was like such a big deal to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I remember putting him on speakerphone. I'm like, yo, everybody be quiet. Like, and I'm like, it's 50, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all those moments led up to making me the mogul, the boss, the Don I am now. So I'm grateful for all of them. So the CTE thing, it was a blessing. I can't say nothing bad about it.
Who in the industry, you know, that you didn't, you know, we're not talking about the local rappers, but who in the industry that you didn't, that left a sour taste in your mouth? Pause.
Pause. In the industry,
like who left like a?
I can't. I don't. That's so personal. Like, and I don't really care enough to really get upset.
Right.
It's things dudes have said. I remember, and I don't have nothing against him, but ASAP Ferg had a song, and he used the term alhamdulillah in his song, and it had me enraged. Like I remember just being so mad because, you know, that's such a beautiful term in our religion that just means all praise be to God. And he had it in a song where he was talking about, you know what I mean, just disrespectful sexual things and stuff, and I just felt like he should have been held accountable. You know, there's Muslims in the industry that a lot of y'all don't even know are Muslims because they're not so like out for it like I am. And I felt like one of them should have said something to him. And I was hoping I ran into him so I could have said something to him. But and that's just like, I don't like nobody disrespecting Islam. A lot of these dudes try to like say certain things in their raps. And I understand as artists we can say what we want and stuff like that, but I feel like you should be respectful. Like, I don't believe in disrespecting nobody's religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never have a bar. There's no bar hot enough where I feel like I gotta disrespect nobody's faith. So I don't really care about none of these dudes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm building my own industry and my own world with this Muslim Don family thing. I'm making it where I don't have to sit at their table. I'm building my own table. You know, that's what I just said recently on the gram. It's like, you know, you look at a lot of the, you know, the Rock Nation brunch. You can either be mad that you're not there or you could do your own brunch. And I'm going to do my own, but I'm going to do the Muslim Don brunch, you know, and that way, you know, we could boss up. You know, if you either going to boss up or get bossed around. You know, I'm one of the few rappers to meet Jay-Z and I asked for a picture. I took a lot of pride in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took a lot of pride in just having that moment with him and not saying, yo, can we get this pic? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just me. Like, I'm different. So nobody can, when you say who left pause and nasty taste in my mouth, none of them. I don't care enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blessed to be around some of the most powerful people in music and outside of music. That I'm never in awe or starstruck. I'm more looking I'm either trying to learn or get money with you or is irrelevant to me.
So speaking of religion, like when did you become Muslim? When did you feel like, you know, you had a?
I feel like I was born Muslim because my father was introducing us to Islam early, but
Okay.
I re-embraced Islam at a fuller and more serious commitment to my deen a few years back. You know, just getting caught up in this music industry and for lack of a better term, getting lost in the sauce and this dunya and trying to live up to this, rap star, rock star, black rock star lifestyle. I just had to get my life together. Like I had my son Aleem 6 years ago. He's 6. He just turned 6. So about 6 years ago, when I had him, I was like, yo, I gotta grow up. I gotta boss up. I gotta, watching some of the stuff I used to do on YouTube. I'm like, yo, that was corny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, I don't want my son watching that. I don't want, you know what I mean? You deal with a higher level of a woman. You know what I mean? Like, when you sit down with a real woman, goofy stuff is goofy stuff no matter who you are. I don't want to do I'm anti-goofy. I'm anti-corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I don't want to do nothing to embarrass my woman, my children, my mother. So it was just about bossing up. And the main thing I credited that was my spirituality. It's like I start praying. There's no success without prayer. So even when I thought I was winning, I wasn't winning. And then when I embraced my Lord, them wins felt better. That money felt better. That food tastes better. The money is able to now do. When you getting haram money, which is impermissible money, that money come and go. That's why you see so many stories. I mean, how so and so go broke? Man, you're never going to win like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't come from a pure place. So it's like when I had to start to commit myself to my Lord, I started to earn halal money, and I started to show my Lord, because if you walk to Allah, He'll run to you. He'll flee to you. So about 6 years ago, I said, you know what I mean, mashallah.
And like who I guess was around to help you, to teach you and to guide you the right direction?
Well, my son inspired me. When you talk about teaching me, like,
I'm talking about like, someone who's already in that lifestyle that you kind of like.
Well, like I said, I always was a leader of men, so I had people on my team. You know how you got a team of people and everybody's into something different?
Right.
I had a couple brothers who was just like, no matter what they was into on the streets, they went to their Friday prayers. And like, I used to be the type of person, a lot of people say, man, I'm going to get right with God, but first I got to, they want to like be all the way into it.
Right.
So for me, it was like I was still doing some of the things I was doing, but I was starting to take baby steps. So it was started with me, like my brother Sid would come pick me up to go to Juma on Friday. Gotcha. So now I'm going to there, and then as I'm going, my heart opening up. I'm changing my movement, my message, everything is being, what I mean? My supporters are now changing. It's a different vibe. So, it was like a group effort, man, but it all come from Allah. You know what I'm saying? My brother, shout out to M. Lad, and he another person too that was on me, like, yo, where we going Friday? Where we going to pray at? You know what I'm saying? It's like, people say you be around 4 bums, you be the 5th one. You be around 4 praying brothers, you going to be the 5th one. So it's like, you hear people a lot of times say they Muslims or they Christians, but are you a praying Muslim? Are you a praying Christian? Because you could be any religion and never go to church or never go to the mosque or never pray. You don't got to go to the church or mosque to pray, but you know what I mean.
Right. How do you feel about a guy like King Erna?
What you mean how I feel about him?
How do you feel about him, his whole, what he stands for? He had the CMOS. He has on his movement on YouTube.
He Muslim. So that's first and foremost. So in any conversation, especially on camera, only thing I could ever say anything about him is something positive.
Respect.
To be against my beliefs. So it's like I knew King Erna before he was even calling himself King Erna.
Oh wow.
I mean, next time you talk to him, he'll tell you he was running around with QSE at the time. Shout out to my brother Staff, Muslim brother that's doing a lot of good things in the community now. He had him with him. As I know him as at the time, King Erna was they was on a DVD, and I took them on a road with me. Next time you talk to him, ask him about that. I took him on a road with me, Beanie Siegel, Freeway. I got him an interview with Beans. Beans don't even do interviews. I got Beans to do an interview with him. So what I'll say about King Erna is watching him build his platform from the ground up, I commend him. I ask Allah to protect him and give him nothing but success.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say about him. Even if when it comes to the Muslims, even if I felt something other than positive, you would never know.
Respect.
But in speaking on him, I feel nothing but positivity. I wish him nothing but the best. I want to see all my people win. You know what I mean? Seeing him on here, to me, his interview, until this one, his interview probably was the best one. MashaAllah.
Your relationship.
What's the numbers you keep counting? I ain't mean to cut you up, but he 4, 5, 6.
Nah, so on the show, I try to give out the he cool man like one time, but sometimes people, it should have more than that. But I don't.
I should have way more.
So that's why I'm counting this. So it's
sis,
like 2.
What is he doing? Like,
so I'm counting.
Like,
so now I'm counting that as like 2. It's like 3. Like, so I'm letting him know like, yo, he could have had a couple more, but I'm trying to keep it easy. You know what I'm saying?
Go, yo, listen. One thing we not gonna do, we not gonna front, man. Acknowledge greatness, man. Winners respect winners. He cool, man.
Ball,
He
man.
cool. He the coolest. He the waviest. It's the Don. It's the Muslim Don, bro. It's the MDF movement. It's the Don. He cut you off. What you was about to say? He cool. He's the coolest. I'm not just cool, man. He's the coolest.
He cool, man.
Come on, man.
You can't say you wild.
Nah,
You
you
wild.
ain't wild. You
Sometimes.
don't win it, G. What do you expect winners, man?
What was your relationship with Nipsey Hussle?
Nipsey Hussle, man. Nipsey Hussle is, damn, man. It's like when you just say his name, like I get the chills, man. Nipsey Hussle was a brother who embraced me. Like I go back to one of my slogans was global, never local. So I was a dude who would get on a plane, man, with just a couple dollars in my pocket and go chase my dreams. And one of the first times I went to LA, some of the biggest dudes out there, Pauls, all embraced me, and Nipsey included. Nipsey been supporting me, and I've been supporting him since, I want to say 2010, 2011. And the last time I seen him, the biggest compliment I can give that brother is, the last time I seen him, he was on the promo run in Philly for his Grammy-nominated album. And that brother was the same brother he was then that he was when I first met him, man. Very humble. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, man. I've never been affected more by, like, you know, quote unquote, a celebrity passing that, like, really to this day is still hurt me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was one that really, you know, it just really bothers me, man. Like, you know, seeing, you know, somebody so great, somebody so humble, somebody so loving. Like, he deserved better, you know what I'm saying? And he's somebody who I consider a brother. You know, shout to Jay Stone, shout to the whole All Money In. Nipsey Hussle is a legend. He's forever a legend. You know, so to me, he was a brother. He was somebody who supported me, somebody who bigged me up. Anytime I go to Cali, you know, oh man, get with me, bro, get with me. You know what I mean? He was always there for me, and I'm never gonna forget that. I got some special moments. I got some special, you know, footage with him and clips and stuff. And one of the things, you know, we never questioned the law, but it was one of the things that always bugged me out was the last time I seen him, he had invited me to dinner. But I had a show that day, like right outside of Philly with Raekwon and Ardmore, so I had to leave, and I'll just be thinking like, damn, man, I wish I would have went to that dinner. But, you know, like I said, it's the cut of the law. You know what I mean? Nip was my bro. Like, I introduced Nip, you know, I was there when he met Jeezy. You know what I mean? Karen Silver brought him to Snow birthday party back in like 2012, and, you know, having them together. I was trying to get him to be in CTA, but he was always just so bossed up and wanted to do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? But I love Nip. I love Nip, man.
Facts. Creed. Let's go there. You know, we seen
Creed. Don't say it like it's one of these little like YouTube movies. You mean Oscar nominated, Golden Globe winning, $400 million grossing Creed.
Talk about
Creed, where I portrayed. Who did I play in Creed?
Yourself?
Who?
Tone Trump?
Wow, how did I do that?
I don't know.
Creed directed by Ryan Coogler, the same Ryan
Give
Coogler that
give
did
some
Black
claps.
Panther.
Give some claps, yeah.
Come on, man.
That's my
No,
boy
make
Ryan
that no, make that money go.
With
Make
that
that
bag
money
tag
go.
sound, that bag
Make that
tag,
money
yeah.
go. Creed that I had.
Yeah.
Did you notice in the background of Creed that everybody that was with me, some of these people that were with me
Right
now
here.
was in Creed too?
I was
He was in
definitely
Creed.
there.
Did you get
Facts.
paid to be in Creed?
Got paid.
Nicely.
Get in the closet.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Yeah. Everybody got paid.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Shout to Ryan Coogler, man. Shout to Michael B. Jordan, man.
Oh my God.
Creed, man. Tone Trump portraying myself.
How did that happen?
How did it happen? Ryan
talk about
Coogler, who was the director, who also directed Fruitville Station, who also directed
Dope.
Black Panther,
Dope.
$1 billion grossing Black Panther. Ryan Coogler is from the Bay Area. Once again, global, never local. I made a lot of money hustling in the Bay. Shout to Mr. Fab. Shout to everybody in the Bay. I was going out to the Bay hustling, jugging, doing features, doing videos, you know, researching medical marijuana way before it became cool. Out there learning the land. And Ryan Coogler was a fan of Tone Trump. And when he got the job to do Creed, he wrote me into the movie. And I portrayed myself, which means, you know, licensing for my name. You know, when my scene comes on, you see my name on the awning, Tone Trump. I own my name. I own all my tattoos, signing off on my tattoos. You know, getting paid for Creed for the rest of my life. Doing good business, solid business. One of the biggest movies ever to come out. And it's an honor to be on it. And I was looking good. My haircut was immaculate.
And you got knocked out though. So
no, I didn't get knocked out. If you really remember, I never fell. Just like when they tried to jump me, I never ever fell. You know what I mean? And I did my own stunts. They had somebody. They wanted me to. They had somebody there to do the stunt for me.
Right.
And I said, I just want to be able to say I did my own stunts. I did my own stunts. Shout to Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? My first scene. You know what I mean? Think about it. My first movie scene, I get to play myself in Rocky in a fight scene with arguably the new Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan. It don't get no bigger than that. Nobody sitting on this couch. They on this couch talking about all them old war stories and all that. That don't count. That don't add up. That Creed thing. That Creed thing. That Creed thing. That's an envelope, bro. That's envelopes, bro. That's Warner envelopes. You know about them Warner envelopes? They different. No war stories, baby. We talking about love. We talking about positivity. We talking. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking that crap. We talking that real stuff. We motivating the people. Motivating the people.
Did you get more than 5% now after all this? Or no? Where's he at now? He still at 5?
I'll wait till after the interview to see.
Shout out to Ryan Coogler though, man.
That was
That was life changing. One of the greatest moments. Like I said, man. Like I put my mother through a lot, man. So to sit in a movie theater in Philadelphia, a real movie theater. No disrespect to like the straight to DVD films or nothing like that, but it's nothing like buying a ticket and getting a big bag of popcorn and sitting there. To the left of me, one of the most beautiful women in the world, my woman. To the right of me, one of the most beautiful women in the world, my mother. And that scene came on, and then because at that time I never seen the movie either. So the first I see my name on it. And then I see my first thing I noticed was my haircut. My fade was immaculate, bro. Shout to Chink the barber. Like the you know what I mean? They tried to get the guy on staff, the guy on set to cut my hair. I said, you can't do that. I said, my whole team got to be a part of this. Even when I got the script, it said Tone's Posse. I called Ryan Coogler right away. I said, who they got playing my posse? He said, that's casting is on it. I said, well, why don't they let my friends do it so it look more real? I got 15 people paid on that movie,
Everybody
bro.
Got paid. You
know what I'm saying? Not even just the people behind me, but I started getting other people extras and all of that. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, said, one does not truly believe until you want for your brother what you want for yourself, until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. You know what I mean? I called him and said, hurry up and get here to sit here to be here because I knew this was gonna be classic. I told him, wear that coat, man. Nothing's by mistake, man. Nothing's by mistake.
So can we look forward to you being in more movies and more big films like that in the future?
Absolutely. Let me take my glasses off. Let me take these Tom Fords off real quick. Maybe I shouldn't say the name because they might try to clip us on the tube. So just say my fly glasses. I just want to announce. Shout to Ice-T, the legend Ice-T. We all familiar with Ice-T. Signed a deal with Final Level Films, 3-film deal. So I'm gonna be doing my own films, written and produced. Shout to Strike Money. We're gonna be doing our own movies, short films. I just did a deal with Millennium TV with my own TV show, the Muslim Don Show, which I would love to have you brothers come co-host one day with me. Just creating new opportunities, new streams of revenue. I will not stop. I love y'all interviews, man. I'm a big fan of this show. I was excited. I will not front. Ask your producer how quick I text him back. When he texted me, I was at Nickelodeon World with my family. You been there yet, man, over in North Jersey?
Not yet. I heard about
Get over there with your family, man. I was over there, spent a bag of money, big old bag of money with my babies, man. Shout to Leem, shout to Dooley, my babies. We gonna watch this together on YouTube. You hear me? We gonna watch this on the iPad. They gonna say, Daddy, you had flips stuck. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Free Dark Low, free Kill King, free the Ox, free Rollo. John Doe, what up? I got us. Malia, what up? YMG, what up? Feeve, what up?
MDF.
Oh, big MDF. Skibo Debo.
That was my next
Richard
question.
and Broke.
That was the next question. Let's get into MDF now. Let's talk about that.
Muslim Don family. So for me, like I said, you sitting on Instagram and you watching rap is ran by clicks. It is what it is, right? So if you don't hang with, Khaled and them, if you don't hang with Ross and them, 50 and them, whatever, it's all these different clicks. And you can either try to fit in or you can do what? You can either try to sit at the table or you can build your own.
Facts.
I'm building my own. We are building our own with the Muslim Don family. That M and MDF is for Muslim. That's the first thing. Submitting to the will of Allah. So now having like-minded individuals around. So now I don't have to try to fit into a music industry where these guys got all these colorful hair and weird piercings and dressing stuff. And you got the LGBTs over here and you got this over here and they all try. And I don't fit in with any of that. So instead of complaining or being negative, I don't be negative, I be positive. I build my own. So I'm building from the ground up the most important movement in hip-hop history. I know how is that the most important movement? Because we are the first movement that looked this wavy, that looked this cool, that looked this tough, that looked this strong and powerful, and we telling little black boys to pray. We giving out firearm safety training. We going to these states teaching them to learn Arabic. We going to these schools teaching them about giving back. We taking homeless people and we feeding them. And as a Muslim, we are supposed to be very, 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 very bashful about what we do as far as charity. But I'm on a very big platform, so I'd be a fool not to express this because I want to motivate others. I work with a shelter in Philadelphia called Family Forwards. It's one of the only shelters in Philadelphia that let families stay together. You know what I'm saying? So I found out socks was the least donated item in homeless shelters. So we started doing sock drives. The first sock drive, we got about 500 pairs of socks. The last one, we got 20,000 pairs. Last week, we did 2,500 blankets. This week, I met up with the champ, J-Rock, Julian Williams from Philadelphia, former unified champion of the world, my brother, Muslim. We taking a family off the streets that's living in a tent. We putting them in a room. We not saying this to brag. We saying this to inspire. Right. We feed the homeless every week. We never film them. We never put it on camera. Mashallah. So we're taking this movement, and it's so much bigger than music, but we're using the music to be the outlet, to be the tool like everybody else is doing. Music is the commercial for the real movie that we're trying to do. We doing films. We doing clothing, merchandise. Like I said, I just did New York Fashion Week. One of the things I did, I made sure they let me wear my own jeans. So now I'm in front of 200 of the biggest photographers in the world wearing Doc and Don jeans, my own jeans I'm a partner in. This is bigger than life. Yeah, give me some water, please, please.
Get some water, fam.
Oh, there go my water right there. Thank you.
The camera. Introduce us. Tell us who are the members of MDF.
Paul, excuse me.
Okay.
I had a water deal I was working on too, man, mashallah, but that ain't closed yet, so we ain't gonna shout them out yet, but I'm definitely working on that, man. So shout out to the brothers in Arizona we doing that with, man. Real alkaline water, you know, real healthy, you know, the real stuff, not this spigot water y'all got me in here drinking. But anyway, mashallah, thanks. It's the effort that count. Bulls done got me a 50-cent water. They don't see these shades I got on, sis. Mashallah. But when you talk about MDF, you talking about Skibo Debo. Like, we building this from the ground up. Skibo Debo representing New York. He with me right now to the left. Real hustler, real dude. I met him in the streets. And like I said, wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. I got out them streets, you know, through the blessings and the mercy of Allah. So I go pull Skibo Debo and say, man, we ain't doing that no more. We doing this. We got Malia, the first lady. She from Long Beach, California. John Doe, he from Atlanta. You know, people know him from Fam Goon, Free Rallo. He part of my movement. YMG, Young Muslims Grinding. They from Baltimore. You know, this is a global movement, man. Just signed a kid named Fee from Brooklyn. I don't want to forget nobody, man. We work on Mossberg, you know, all my day one strike. You know, Roll Nitty behind the scenes. I mean, it's a bunch of things going on. We just sat down with Marley the Martian, man, one of the hottest young executives in the game, bringing him on to executive produce. Freeway is executive producing the first project with me as well. Snever Them is the project. So we still growing too, man. So I'm looking for more artists. The unique thing about this project, every artist, every producer is Muslim. And I'm proud of that. And, you know, it's a message to it. And it's going to be not preachy, not, you know, it's not, I won't front, it's not halal rap or Muslim rap. You know, it's reality rap, but, you know, we rap in our reality, which we all Muslims first, so you're going to hear about that as well.
Who are the people in here today?
The people in here today, I got a bunch of different people in here today.
Why don't you name them? Don't look and say, I got a bunch of people. Name them and tell me who they are.
Well, some of them, you don't need to know their names.
Respect.
Just in case, you know, you get goofy like you did. Remember what we talked about earlier, you know what I mean? You trying to get me say everybody's name on camera. You know?
No.
Smoother than that. I'm smoother than that.
I'm very comfortable.
You
very comfortable.
You should be comfortable.
I'm very comfortable.
You should
Outside is different. In here, we're going to lock the doors. We go, you know, there's a lot of people. I'll take it. I'm good. I'm comfortable. See a lot of guys with serious looks on their face and they're serious. I'm comfortable. I'm content with who I am. So I would like to know them because they hear respectful. So I would like to greet them.
The Muslim Dons is in the building. I say this, man. A lot of the brothers that's behind the camera, they behind the camera for a reason. They will introduce themselves, you know, properly off camera.
Respect. Enough of you. Skibo Debo.
What's happening?
Ho. One more thing. Can I just say one more thing? I just want to tell everybody out there, man, like, listen, support who support me, man. Support this podcast. I want to thank them for having me on here. It was some people who didn't even want me to do this interview. I said, I got this, man. I got this. I said, I got
why
this.
They didn't want you to do it? Because I hear about that a lot. People say things like that. Like, why?
Because somebody not as sharp as me may struggle with some of the things you said. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a very powerful and precious position right now. So if I answer one of these questions the wrong way, like you asked me about people who I allegedly have problems with, I may say a thing that may cost a deal. I have some big deals on the table that the dudes that I allegedly have issues with couldn't even fathom. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be careful. People judge you by your friends and your enemies. I have new fans who don't even know about none of them issues you asked about. You're going to have people looking up stuff I don't want them looking up. So it's people on my corner that was like, do we really want to, you know what I mean? Because what y'all doing, y'all are basically like mainstream right now, right? And the way I built my movement, I don't need mainstream. Like, I don't never got to do some of the other bigger radio shows, and I'm going to eat, and I'm going to sell 1,000 of these hoodies at $65 a piece. Cash App, Muslim Don Inc., PayPal, Tone Trump Inc. at gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? 24/7, 247trump.com. You talk about me changing my name. During a presidential race, my website that I own, the number 247trump.com, I was getting 7 million. What do they call it? Unodd hits. That means people that are just randomly going to your site because they was looking for the president of the United States. You know about algorithm. I was still getting paid for that. See, I'm talking different, man. This ain't one of them has-been stories. This ain't one of them how'd you grow up and and I was out there and I was getting money. No, I'm still doing it. I've been cool the whole movie. Shout to my mom. My mom is young, pretty, fine, and fashy. Some of these dudes' moms look like nanas, bro. Like, you see some of these dudes, go look at some of these dudes' moms when they put their Mother's Day pictures up. My mother is gorgeous, bro. Shout to my own, man. Shout to my own. Shout to my whole family, man. You see my youngest son, Abdul? Blonde hair, gray eyes, man. I can't make this up, man. 100% African American. That boy is gorgeous, man. That's my son. Little Dooley, man. I know you don't do B-roll. I wish you would just put up a picture of my son like, bing. I'm going to send it to you. If you could do that, bing, put that up for me one time. My baby gorgeous, man. You got some beautiful children, too. I see you. Looking real exotic over there, them babies. I don't know what you got going on, but there's something going on over there. I do my homework. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, man. Talk to my bro, man. I did it, man. I survived Queenzflip podcast, man. I don't lose. I either win or I learn, man. Talk to him, Skibo. Talk to him, Skibo.
Hold on.
Talk to him, Skibo. Hey, G Money, can I get another? He cool, man.
No.
I was
about 15.
I want to break the record.
Yeah,
Who got the record? Who got the record? Be honest. Because you got a lot of uncool dudes that be on this couch. I'm talking about super corny. They jeans be all big. I ain't even going to get into that. What's the name? Jeans was humongous. We just going to call him what's the name. Y'all go look back. Who got the most we cool? Them big old knees. His knees. He had so much space in the knees of his jeans.
Well, I mean,
we don't know who you're talking about.
Disgusting jeans.
What episode was it?
Somebody in the back like, he talking about... A bunch of them. It don't matter. Go ahead. G Money, who got the record for We Cool, man?
Well, I mean,
be honest.
I don't think I've ever passed two.
So I have the record.
No, but I haven't passed two. I
never got two.
Only got two. I had nobody has
he was
three.
over there counting the ones he didn't mention. They don't count.
Yeah, a lot of people got the invisible ones.
Oh, the invisible.
You got the most invisible ones. How much invisible ones you gave him?
Like 7.
Right. Yeah.
It was more than 7.
Like
10.
But King Face got 2. He cool. So I remember that.
Yeah, King Face
got 2. Other than that, I forget who other person got 2.
You have to give me one more than him. I can't be tied with him. That's all the way lame. I can't.
What do you mean is lame? That's my friend.
I just said I can't be tied with him. I didn't say nothing negative about him.
Do you know who King Face is?
Absolutely. I do my homework. You think I don't know who that is? Mm-hmm. I do my homework.
So you don't agree with his beliefs, basically what he believes in as far as like.
I'm Muslim. What you think?
I don't know. I'm actually. I don't.
Who does he love?
He loves his family and himself.
Politically, who does he love?
He supports Donald Trump.
Right. And and I'm sure that I know you don't know much about politics, which none of us do because we don't care, but we do know how Donald Trump feels about my people. So obviously somebody that champions that person as much as he do, you know what I'm saying? Obviously I can't be his biggest fan, but I respect everybody's opinion. I respect his hustle for sure.
Okay.
Because I definitely think he jugging, you know what I'm saying? So I think all black conservatives are hustling. So I don't knock their hustle, but somebody who supports so openly and aggressively supports somebody who clearly has a disdain for the thing I love the most. I mean, I don't want to be tied with him for we cools. I mean, I'm way cooler.
We can't respect.
I just think I'm way cooler.
We can't just respect somebody that has their own belief. But you just
absolutely. I work with. Listen, man. If it's war, I go buy guns off the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Donald Trump. It's things I love. It's things I love about Donald Trump too. I work with conservatives. I work with Maj Toure from Black Guns Matter, who champions for Donald Trump. If the brother you mentioned, who he said I was tied with for We Cools, if he had something going on that I needed to, if I needed to do business with, I would sit at the table with him. Because business is business. Like I said, I sit down with some skinheads if they got the product I need. Long as I don't have to compromise my faith, my integrity as a man, my honor, I don't really care who you voted for or who you sleeping with and all that stuff like that. That's why I'm building my empire to where I don't have to work. I'm building all our resources. It's 1 billion Muslims worldwide. Every day I talk on the phone with at least one Muslim millionaire. If I build that rapport up with these people and I build up this network, I don't have to go outside that network. I don't have to work with Donald Trump lovers or dudes with big podcasts. None of that stuff. We could just, what we could do? Young and Muslim podcast. Now we got our own podcast. We're going to blow them up. You know what I'm saying? We just going to blow. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to do it. We don't hate on nobody. We congratulate and we keep it moving and we keep it pushing.
Makes sense.
Skibo Debo.
You already talk about it.
Where you from?
I'm from everywhere. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from Lombard, North Carolina. You know what I mean? I was raised in the South End of New York, so I got the best of both worlds. You feel me?
And you're Muslim as well, yes?
Of course, alhamdulillah.
And when, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
when I took my shahada, it's probably like 14.
Watch your mouth when you be talking about Malcolm X too. When you got them,
I'm gonna get into that. Yeah, hold on.
Watch your mouth, all y'all, and all them old dudes that be coming on here with them old stories and all of them folders and all that stuff. Watch your mouth. Malcolm X is the greatest.
Nobody in here
American
Malcolm X.
Nobody in here did, but you giving platforms to people who had.
Who?
Show love and respect.
I don't know what
Malcolm
you're talking about, but we're gonna get into that. Yo, chill out. I'm gonna get into that. That's the last question. I'm gonna end it with.
Malcolm, we love you, Malcolm.
From Bronx.
Bronx.
Yes. Street dude. Took your shahada in 2014, yes?
No, I took my shahada when I was 14.
When you was 14. Pardon me.
Right.
When you was 14.
Right. We ain't gonna disclose all that information. That was many moons ago. You
Got you. And how did you meet this? Well, he said earlier that you met him,
in the streets through a mutual person. We was bag tagging, doing what we do. Shout out to Frankie Crutches, you know what I mean? It's my bro.
And you do what do you do music? You a street like what?
Yeah, I do music. I'm an entrepreneur. I do everything. I'm like a serial investor. I find things to buy and invest in and build it up. Then I sell it. You know what I mean?
Talk heavy. Win
the shit, you know what I mean?
Star next to a star, car next to a car, winner next to a winner. MDF, big MDF. Free Kill King, free Rollo, free Dark Low, free Ab, free them all, man. Free the Ox, man.
So
free Imam Jamil.
You got your show lit. I would have put it on a bigger platform. Not saying your platform ain't huge, but when I touch shit, I'm like King Midas, turn it to gold. You know what I mean? It got a little crazier. Talk my shit a little bit. You know how I mean, Flip?
Hey, G Money, he cool, man.
Give me one, G Money.
Hey, G Money, he
Give me
cool,
one.
man.
Let me say this. You can't turn gold into gold.
Right.
Remember that.
That's
So
gold. I'm just joking.
when you touch it,
fire.
it's just
I bigged you up when
Yeah,
I was telling you
thank you.
Don't cut that out neither. I bigged them up off camera. Put it back on camera.
we don't and I appreciate
Don't big him up too much. Though.
I actually appreciate that you did say that off camera, man. Like I said, all you gentlemen came here with respect. Honorable, man. Something about Philly.
You know why? It's not about Philly. It's not about Philly. It's about our EDAB. I want everybody listening now. We're gonna educate again. Google the word EDAB. In the English, it's ADAB. I'm not even going to tell people what it means. I want Flip to look it up and tell y'all what that means. It's Arabic. It's our EDAB. And your EDAB is very, very important because you don't tell people you Muslim. You show people you Muslim. So when we leave here, we don't want them to leave here and y'all be like, man, he came here with all them niggas. We want to leave here and say, man, them brothers, they cool, man. I want you to say about, you know what I'm saying?
The whole crew get one.
What do EDAB mean? Let's tell the people what EDAB means, Queenzflip.
It's Islamic etiquette.
Mannerisms,
mannerisms, morals,
alhamdulillah,
decency,
alhamdulillah,
decorum,
alhamdulillah,
refinement, good
talk,
talk, salute, And these guys came like that. I appreciate it because they come in. Flip, there's like 7-8 guys. That's 7-8 guys. I saw. Come on, as I said, all right. You know what I mean? But guys came in here very respectful and the energy is positive, man. And I can see how you would want to, or let's move the jokes aside. I could see, they said that the man is as good as the people that he surrounds himself with.
Absolutely.
And I could see that, you going far as the energy and you keeping your friends and your team around you.
Absolutely.
I can see them going far as well because everybody's here, they're standing up, they're confident, and they have faith in what you're saying, and that means a lot. That speaks volumes.
Inshallah.
A team is as good as his leader, and
absolutely,
a brother is as good as his brother. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? So it's something I
believe
learned.
I believe that. I live by that.
Have you ever put out a mixtape before? Anything like that?
My mixtape out right now is called The Pre-Order. So warm up to the album, but it's really not a mixtape because it's all original beats. Ain't nothing on the industry. You know what I mean?
Who have you worked with in the industry, man? I mean, Onkasa did say your name. I remember now, but who have you worked with in the industry?
I mean, as far as what music, well, I worked with a lot of people in the industry, but no music. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Right, bag tag. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So a lot of people know me, but not on camera. You did?
Got respect. Oh,
So we
okay.
ain't gonna mention all that, but you know.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah.
I'm
we
well
can't
known.
mention too much when it comes to
Well
Skibo
known.
D, but you just want to sit there.
I'm
with
just I'm a serial entrepreneur. When you put my name there, put serial entrepreneur. I'm like you know how serial killers go around killing stuff? I just go around investing and buying and get to the bag.
Hey, yo, you
Bag
know what?
tag,
You said
know
something about. I want to go back to that rub me the wrong way thing, man. I pause. Left a bad taste in my mouth. Pause. DJ Vlad, that devil, that bozo DJ Vlad. I had an issue with DJ Vlad years and years ago, right? And DJ Vlad, you know, I had sent him, you know, back when I was young and immature, I had sent him a text that wasn't too flattering. And at that time, he had an office inside the Universal building, and he got me banned. You remember when he had the office in Universal? He was working with Loud. He had got me banned from that building when I was super hot in the street. So imagine being banned from the building where Def Jam is at, and all these major SRC at the time was in there. I had the record with Akon. I got to get the video clear, and I can't. I literally go to the door, and they got a picture of me because DJ Vlad, this coward DJ Vlad. I just wish our people would wise up. Like, if you got an exclusive interview, give your interview. I'm not just saying it because I'm here, but give it to these guys or give it to one of the other black, you know what I mean, support your own. Stop going over there giving that devil. And when I say devil, I'm not just talking about his race. I'm just talking about his energy and what he represents. And that dude is just all bad, you know what I'm saying? And brothers is just going over there just spilling it, telling on themselves and telling on other people. And it's just terrible. His platform is terrible, and I would be remiss not to get on this big platform and not speak on that. I wish y'all brothers so much success. I want y'all to dominate. Y'all got to keep winning because we need all them brothers to come over here and get on this couch and stop. Vlad's so scary. He don't even be in the room. They talking to like a speakerphone. Like, stop going over there giving that bull all them hits and all of that stuff. Instagram is your power now. Build your own pages up. Stop going over there giving that boy that love, man. He don't care about none of y'all. It's like in the hood, man, when brothers get knocked off in the hood, man, you never see the dudes from the Chinese store come to none of these janazas or funerals. Vlad ain't coming to court for nobody. He ain't putting no money on nobody. Lawyers, them brothers come up there, don't talk about not one song they made. At least y'all got enough decency to say, man, what's going on with the MDF movement? That boy, he want to know about every indictment, every drug, every war. You know what I'm saying? Stop going over there selling yourself short, man. And if you just want to get on there and talk some gangster tales, at least do it with some brothers that's going to be able to relate. He's a sucker. He's admitted that he'll tell you. When I had an issue with Vlad, you know what Vlad told me? Vlad said, I'm not in the streets. I'm taking this to the police. I'm giving you information. He had all my information because I was doing business with him. I was on Vlad TV before people knew what Vlad TV was. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't coming from somebody who's hating. I was on Vlad TV. You can look it up. Before people knew who he was, going to his office and all that, working with his office, helping him build his stuff up. His first concerts he was doing when he had the little office working for Gabi, when he had Raheem and them working for him. I was in there. So this isn't coming from hate. This is coming from love, me loving my brothers. I see so many brothers going on his platform playing themselves. Like, take these interviews serious. Learn from my mistakes. I did stupid interviews. Like, this stuff is forever. When you get in front of these cameras, this is forever. Care more about how you look. I see people come on Queenzflip podcast. I'm like, get some chapstick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these boys be coming up here looking crazy. Look at me. I pull out the sea moss chapstick. You know what I mean? The pina colada joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, just care about how you look on camera. I made sure I changed before I came on here. So I had my own merch on, my own jeans on. You know what I'm saying? I changed my clothes. Go look at my last picture on IG. I ain't got this on. Everything is calculated, bro. Mashallah.
So where did it go wrong with you and him? Or the business is too personal?
No, it's not too personal. What happened was they was doing this little contest. They had picked like 4 or 5 of the hottest dudes on the internet. And basically we was competing for like this. It was like all rigged, some single deal with something, some money. The results came out. I knew I was winning, and he rigged it because, you know, he real cool with a certain rapper. He had that rapper in first place. I knew something was wrong. I knew it was false, so I went off about it. I threatened him, and he told on me. We wound up having a meeting to squash it, and they admitted to me, wallahi, they admitted to me I was right. I was winning. I went about it wrong. I should have never threatened him, but I was right. He actually did. He tried to say, oh, it was a mistake. They miscounted. You actually were winning. But they took me out the joint because I had threatened him. I had said, you know, I threatened him bad. That was a time when I was just wilding. I was really young. And then, you know, this was my livelihood. Like, I knew I won. I just knew I won. I knew at the time, like, there's no way the dude he said was winning. So I was just salty about it. I was being a sore loser who wasn't really losing. I really was winning, and I threatened him. And like I said, he could have cost me some very big opportunities. Luckily, mashallah, Gabi was a good dude. Gabi brought me in, made me meet with him. You know who Gabi is? You remember Gabi was working with French and a bunch of people, but Gabi was a good dude. He was running SRC at the time, and he made some moves to get the band lifted because I had a major band like. When you can't go in a Universal building, bro, that's publishing offices, that's record labels, that's so many different things, and it was just crippling me at the time where I needed to be in that building navigating.
You guys rectified it, but then.
Well, I faked it like I rectified it with him because I wanted to get back in the building, but he was always gonna be a sucker in my head because at that time when he threatened to get me like arrested. At that time, I didn't understand. Like, I just looked at it like, oh, he a rat. Even though I know now, like, he's not really a rat because he's a civilian and he's a businessman. Like, now as a man and as a businessman, I understand he was doing the smart thing because he should have called the cops on me because I would have heard him at that time if I would have caught him. So he was smart for saying what he said to try to keep me off him. But he's forever a devil and a sucker in my book, though.
You did an interview and said that you got blackballed by DJ Cosmic Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yeah, definitely.
Why do you feel now that he still blackballed you?
Well,
why did you feel
what it was is he's very powerful as far as Philly radio goes. And at the time when, years and years ago when I was on fire, what happens is when a label wants to sign you and you're from a certain city, they're going to call certain people in your city. So when people were calling him, the things he was saying about me wasn't flattering at all. That's a form of blackballing. You know what I mean? So if so-and-so wants to sign Tone Trump and they call him up and he says, nah, he ain't the one, you should sign da-da-da-da. Somebody that's more affiliated with him or somebody that's, for lack of a better term, no homo, in bed with him and doing what he got going on. So I formed that as blackballing. Not to mention, I had records that I known should have been getting played. He wasn't playing. Like, I had people that was around him telling me, like, yo, he said he would never play none of your music. I just made it to a point where he couldn't resist and he had to play my music.
Where did that stem from?
It stemmed from a lot of the issues I had with other artists. He was cool with them guys. Like, they was his boys. So when I had issues it was a time where I had issues with Mike Knox. I had issues with Gilly. And these is like his friends aside from rap. Like, they like hang out with him and shit. So, I mean, it's like having beef with Queenzflip and then you trying to get on the Flip the Script podcast. You might not be, down with that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody dissing G Money, you're not bringing them on the couch. So that's kind of how it was. So even with me being more mature, I even understand Kev. I still think it was nutty. I still think it was some sucker shit, but I would have did the same thing Kev did. You know what I mean? I ain't going to help somebody get on that's not, tied in. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the right thing to do, like, you know what I mean? But it's what he did.
That's a big deal, too, because he's like the Funk Flex out there. Like, he's like on that caliber in Philly. Or no?
I guess that's a fair.
Well, you probably won't say that because
don't breathe like that. Give him respect. Don't breathe like that.
Oh, he's a definite legend. And one thing I'm proud about is at a time where like it was two ways to get airplay from him. You either had to pay or you either had to kiss his ass. And I did neither one and got my records played. That's one of my proudest things in music. When he called me up to do the come up show, it felt like I always felt like somebody made him do it because he sounds so angry when he had to finally call me to do his show. And that was one of my proudest moments. I remember being on my block and I answered my phone. I didn't even know the number. I'm like, hello. He was like, yo, can you do the come up show this week? I'm like, hell yeah. And that meant so much to me, with my friends in jail getting to hear me because that used to be the thing. I was on fire on the internet and everybody like, why you ain't on Philly radio? Why you ain't on Philly radio? I was the first Philly artist I was on Hot 97, but not on Philly radio. I was on Power 105, but that's never been done. Wow. I got Flex playing my records prime time and I'm not on my local radio, but eventually he got down and he started playing the records.
What artists in Philly? A couple of more questions I asked before I get to the Malcolm X thing, and I'm gonna end it with that. Mm-hmm. What artists in Philly that you liked, whether it's battle rappers or artists in general, that you was rocking with?
Right now?
No, then and now.
I mean, Beanie Siegel, Freeway, Spado, Hollow Man, Cree Forge, Quilly,
Cassidy.
Everybody I named so far are Muslim too. Me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of artists from Philly I love me the most. You know what I'm saying?
You had an issue with Cassidy?
No, I never had no issue with Cassidy. Cassidy did a verse for me. when I did the Afghan record with Jeezy, I did a Philly G mix, and I got a verse from Cassidy. I had a bunch of people, but I had Cassidy do a verse for me. I ain't got no issue with Cassidy.
What do you thought about the battle rappers out there in Philly?
The battle
like
rappers.
Reed Dollars.
I think Reed Dollars is a legend.
Yeah.
Reed Dollars also Muslim. Like I said, any Muslim you ask about, I'm gonna say nothing but good things. Reed Dollars is a living legend. YouTube owe Reed Dollars millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame. You know, them kids, man. Them kids. I don't mean to call them kids because we like the same age, but Reed. You know what I'm saying? You think about the Reed Dollars, the Touch Monies, and all of them dudes, man. Headshot. Just seen Young Bob in the studio. Like all them dudes is legends. Them dudes is the reason people was on YouTube. Like if you making money off YouTube, you should pay homage to them dudes because you know what I mean. Before it was all these huge platforms. Now we just seen Drake do a big deal with Smack. You know what I mean? Congratulations to them. I know that's your peoples. You know what I mean? That comes from Reed Dollars in them, man. You
Stop
know
researching me, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
What about Leak Moss? You ever
Leak
think about
Moss.
him?
I think Leak Moss is, he's a product of one of the most respected movements out of Philadelphia, the OBH movement.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Leak Moss. You know what I mean? I'm making sincere du'as for his brother, both his brothers actually in it, and the other members, Freedom Men. Leak Moss is fire.
Respect.
He Muslim.
So,
Free Dark Low.
Yeah, free everyone.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. Free all the positive.
Not everyone. He just gonna free everybody. That's some queen shit.
That
That must be some queen shit. Free everyone. No, nigga. There's some niggas that need to be.
Not everyone.
The rapists, the pedophiles.
Yes, of course.
The rats.
Of course,
Keep
of course.
them. Don't free everyone.
Malcolm X, you said that for you to come and question us about who we had up here about Malcolm X, and nobody spoke anything negative about Malcolm X as far as I remember. And on top of that, we had some people that actually knew Malcolm X and met him personally.
Allegedly.
No, facts. These are facts.
Allegedly.
These are facts, but you never met him.
Not at all.
But what do you know about him that made you, because I love Malcolm X.
I love him, man.
I just watched a documentary. It hurt me that so many people was aware of the man that allegedly pulled the trigger on him, and he was just living right there in Jersey. That kind of bothered me a little bit, but it is what it is, I guess.
Man, I just pray Allah punishes and humiliates everybody involved with the killing of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could have been there, man. Like, I love Malcolm X. Like, when you talk about Malcolm X, like, we don't worship anything but God. Allah is an entity of his own. We don't worship anybody, but when you think about what Malcolm X meant to the black man, to the black American Muslim, and it just goes without saying. Like, I'm somebody who never gets starstruck, and the other day Malcolm X's daughter left a comment on my Instagram, and I was like screenshotting it. Like, I was just so excited. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just meant so much to me that she acknowledged my post about her father. So when I watch your platform, the thing that I'm very sensitive about it because it was so many non-Muslims and some of them dudes, I feel like some of them dudes are just full of it. I feel like some of them dudes, because it's easy to sound smart to people that don't know. And you have a wide audience. So when I think about people watching this stuff and seeing some of these dudes talk, and just because somebody old, it's just like we just give them so much respect and so much. Like when you say, some of these people knew Malcolm X. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they showed you. It's people that could show you 50 pictures with a rapper that you don't know. We live in that era right now. You know what I'm saying? So, So some of these dudes I seen up here, I feel like they couldn't tie Malcolm X's shoes. So for them to get on this huge platform and you trying to debate about him and stuff like that, like if you don't got something nice to say about Malcolm, you shouldn't say nothing at all in my eyes. You know what I mean? But at the same time, people got freedom of speech. But I will say this. You have to be very careful who you talk about. You know what I mean? That's a brother that is very loved and very revered. And the thing about war is war never ends. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like you could think something's over and then, boom, you know what I mean? You wake up dead, you know what I mean? So you just got to be careful. And we love Malcolm, the MDF, we love Malcolm. We all inspired by Malcolm, millions and millions of brothers. And I pray Allah rewards him for all the people he has inspired. You know what I mean? And his strong wife and his beautiful children and, everybody, you know what I mean? I love Malcolm.
Before we wrap it up, is there any final words you have for the people? Is there anything that you want to touch on that we did not touch on that you may seem like your Queenzflip? You didn't touch on that, because that's this new thing.
I want to say,
Lord.
I want to say,
let me finish.
Can I just say real quick before I forget?
Yeah.
It's a new app out there called Paid Meals. I want everybody watching right now to download Paid Meals. It's a way that you can help feed the homeless without having. Some people are scared or untrusting to give homeless people money. So this is a way you could pay it forward, pay for a meal for somebody in need through an app, through Cash App and things like that. It's called Paid Meals, all one word. It's Muslim owned. It's a beautiful app. I encourage everybody to download that. I've been trying to entertain and educate it. I can't just come up here just looking pretty, in this Nipsey blue and just in these $2,000 jeans and these Yeezy boots never look better. Kanye should send me a check for these. You know what I mean? I can't just come up here and just give you splash and drip. I got to give you something more. So download Paid Meals. You know what I'm saying? And follow Muslim Don Family. Follow Tone Trump. Everything my name. If you see a blue check and a pretty face, it's probably me. You know what I'm saying? So just, check in with me, tap in with me, and support Flip the Script podcast. You know what I'm saying? Support who support me, man. I'm in the building, man.
G, don't do it, G.
I'm in the building, man. Come on, G. I just need one more. Shout to G Money, man. Hey, G Money, I seen you on. What was G Money on? He was on something I was watching. I'm gonna get a We Cool Man if I can remember the name of the show. It was Charlie Baltimore daughter on there. Luciani. G Money, you was on there. You was DJing at the cookout. G, was you at the cookout? G, was you at the cookout with Ciani and them? Shout out to Ciani.
3 cool.
He saw me, man.
G,
give it to him, G Money.
Don't let me be tied up with that. Come on, don't let me be tied up with that. Come on, this is a
Can't face my man too. That's
Come
crazy.
on, man. Come. G, don't give it to him. Yo, we got to be authentic. We got to be authentic, bro. We got to keep it real. We got to. Come on, man.
He cool, man.
We got the record, baby. We got the record, baby. We got the record. FDF.
Give out your social media.
I tried, man. Sorry,
follow Tone Trump. My name, just like it sounds. Like I said, you see the blue check and a pretty face. Follow Muslim Don Family. You'll find everybody else. Everything is one word. No underscores. None of that bull crap. Hashtag Let's Win Foundation. Sunday, I'm going to Kenya, Africa. I'm actually going for a very, very, let me take my glasses off for this. Sunday, I'm going with Muslims of the World and Relief. We're actually going over there with 15 doctors from Pakistan. They're going to be doing cataract surgeries on children who actually right now in Kenya who can't see. And we're going to watch these kids regain their vision. You'll be able to watch everything from my page. We'll be raising money. You'll be able to hit the link in my bio. I leave Sunday as an 18-hour flight. And I'll be in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, for the next week or so. And I want everybody to follow and support that movement. Shout out to Muslims of the world. Shout out to the whole Muslim Don family. Shout out to me. Shout out to my Shout out to Allah for making me so beautiful, so intelligent, so strong, so powerful. I survived the Flip the Script podcast. I broke the record. I did it wearing my own merch. I did it looking good. I didn't curse one time. I'm undefeated. I'm undisputed. I'm wavy. I'm pretty. I'm in the best shape of my life. I got the realest dudes with me, the most honorable dudes with me. Every woman around me is covered. Everyone around me. Life is great, man. I could have 4 wives, but I'm too picky. MDF is the movement. Richard and Broke coming soon. Shout to Freeway, executive producing with me. Shout to Marley the Martian. Shout to Brav. Shout to Strike. Shout to Ro Nitty. Shout to Nor. Shout, man, listen, man. Shout to Skibo, Debo, Malia. Shout to G Money. Shout to Flip. Shout to Queens. The real Queens. Big Queen. I'm talking about the whole Queens. From Far Rock, South Side, even the nice part. Shout to Halal Bros. You know when I'm in Queens, that's where I go. You want to get the Muslim Don special? Just tell me you want the MDF special. You get the jerk chicken with the grill with the salad with the garlic sauce on the side. Yeah, the MDF special in Queens. In Queens, they got the MDF special. Shout to Halal Bros. We around, man. Let's win, man.
Give out your social media, please.
Skibo Debo, Mr. You Already.
SKIBO. Edit it, put it right there.
You're going to put it right there.
Right there, edit it right there. Skibo Debo.
Get into my music, the pre-order out right now, you know what I mean? And
he all over that Us Never Them too, man. Free Rollo, free all the Ox, man. Free Imam Jamil, free Kill King, man. Free Dark Low, free Moolahs, free the men.
Free Scooter.
Shout out to the whole Philadelphia. Shout out to the whole New York for embracing me. Shout out to K Slay. K Slay for being, we talk about the DJs who fronted. Let's talk about the DJs who didn't front. Right. Shout out to K Slay. Respect the DJ. Shout out to every DJ who ever played my record, every internet radio show. Shout out to everybody. This, people try to act like they did everything by themselves. I'm nothing without the mercy of Allah. I'm nothing without my supporters. I'm nothing without my mother and my family. And I'm just so grateful. Allah promises, I'm going to end it like this. Everybody listening, this is what my Lord promises. If you are grateful, he will give you more. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. When y'all hear me talking about how pretty I am, that's because Allah going to make me prettier and prettier. You see a lot of these dudes come on this couch, they look all old in the face. They sitting here, they look at, let's win, man.
G-Money, you wildin', bro. G-Money, why you did that, bro? G-Money, you wildin'.
Because G-Money feel my pain.
He ain't say no names, so I'm safe.
G-Money, why you played that, bro?
If he said somebody's name, I couldn't do that. I'd be.
No, we don't say.
It could be anybody. It's 149 episodes. So it could be.
Shout out to the 149 episodes.
It could be anybody.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I got to show love. Let me shout out some of my favorite interviews y'all did. I love the King Earner joint. Because anytime snatch your honor, that's just and it's Philly. Who else interview I like? Oh, I love Killer Kev. I'm a Killer Kev fan. I love Killer Kev. His energy and his vibe. Yeah, Who Food, that's my shit. Who else was a good one? The Furtado brothers. I love them. That quiet success. I had a chance to do some work with them brothers years and years ago, Lance and them. I just love their confidence. I love the way they was so militant, not feeding in. Y'all trying to drag out the gangster stuff and they wouldn't allow it. I admire stuff like that. That inspires my interview. So I definitely watch what you guys are doing, man. And to the brothers who come up here and I seen recently you had a brother up here who kind of got out of pocket. He, had some drugs and some alcohol going on, and you see what I'm saying? What them substances do. That's why we got to be strong and be smart. Brothers got to eat better, think better, drink better, because you can't blame Flip. You can't blame the cameras. You come up here and play yourself. Be smart. Know what you're doing. Know what you're wearing. Look in the mirror for you. Tell them what I did before I started. I had the sister take a picture of me to make sure I looked as good as I thought I looked. Because you could think you look cool, and they'd be like, damn, why ain't nobody tell me my hoodie was looking like that? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you brothers come up here, take this serious. This is a major platform. I flew back in. Go look at my Instagram. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina yesterday. I flew back in to do this. So I took this very serious.
That means a lot. That means a lot, bro.
Real rap. I took this very serious.
Winners respect winners, man.
Believe that.
Let's sign out, please.
We out of here, man. Another classic joint.
The coolest one. The coolest one. You know what I mean? The coolest episode.
The waviest ever. The waviest ever.
He got me, bro.
You know how you know this was a good interview? Because you know how many people probably leave here and be mad at him? We leaving, we good. He cool, man. He cool, man. That's how you know this joint was lit.
I don't know why he be mad at me, man. I'm just regular. I just ask questions, man.
Some people can't handle the truth. It's like
God.
They can't.
They blame me for stuff, man. But
all you're doing is pointing out the facts.
I appreciate that.
So don't blame me for doing my job. I'm a journalist.
Money had a disclaimer because it was at one point where we got like back to back. Yo, can you edit this out and edit that out and take this down? And we have decided that we're not taking anything down and editing anything out.
Listen.
So you can just
Listen, you ain't even got to edit my joint. My joint's so good, you can just upload this joint to the zip file. You said this we share. You ain't got to do nothing. Look, this joint lit. This joint litty. The sister ain't never had as much fun on none of these dudes y'all interview ever. When I leave, ask her, just be like, yo, is he telling the truth? She's had a ball, man. Y'all ain't seen her smile this much since y'all met her. Put the camera on her, man.
All them teeth showing. She's showing a whole lot of teeth.
He don't want to show love. He don't want to show love. He don't want to show love, dude. We got the Queens. Look, Queens inspired kings, man. Shout the Queens. Shout the Queens, man.
Can we sign out? Sign out. I need 10 more minutes after we sign out. So can you?
We out of here. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. I gotta get on the road. I got a long ride.
I need you for 10 minutes for my Patreon.
Okay,
it's a Patreon exclusive. Yeah, so let us sign out, and it's just 5 to 10 minutes. Just
okay, make it 5. I want to quit while I'm ahead. I won. You know what I mean? When you win, you got to roll. You might win if I give you 10 more minutes. That's 5.
Oh my God, yo, first time ever. Wait, he broke the record, so shout out to him, man. He got 3 He Cool bands on one episode.
Should have got 10.
It was tough. But we here, man. Make sure you follow the pages at Queenzflip with a Z, at DJG1156, at Flip the Script Pod on Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. Dope classic joint, man.
Everybody hit up the DJ G Money page on Instagram and tell them to send my man the page, man. You're not using it. We don't know you, man. Come on, man. Stop playing around. We willing to give you some money. Give my man the page, weirdo. I take the weirdo part back, but stop playing. Yo, it's Queenzflip, URLTV.tv. You know, classic interview. Dope, man. You know what I'm saying? My energy is so up there that, you know, it takes people, you know, it's like a hill. That, you know, it's trying to climb up to get on my energy, but you didn't make it. You know what I mean? 79%, you know, respect. 82. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. We take that.
82.
Hey, I went from 5 to 82.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
tripping.
yo, you know, we here, URLTV.tv, man. Remember, man, once again, we want to send our condolences to Pop Smoke.
Yes.
To him and his family.
Again,
Rest in peace, man. And you know, it's unfortunate. The situation, you know, stop killing our brothers, man. And, you know, just rest in peace. And remember, lock your doors, close your windows, close your blinds, open your blinds. And if you see a guy like Tone Trump on your lawn,
You living in the right neighborhood.
let him in.
You living in the right neighborhood.
Let him in. He don't need no harm. He don't mean no harm. But don't be afraid to show him your firearm. I'm from Queens.